and you see a name like Peretti, that's an Italian guy, right? Right? Does that dude look Italian? I know I literally made the same mistake with Jimmy Kimmel, not recognizing that he was an anti and thinking he was Friar, but you kind of can't blame me for Kimmel. Dude looks pretty Friar. But this guy looks like he got shot and said, "Oy vey." I don't know. Hey, man, I don't know. It definitely is weird. It's definitely weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know what how do you guys operate? I know at this point I'm super skeptical. I'm very skeptical of anything that I've presented. Just here's a great example. So I was told it was supposed to snow. You're supposed to get like 7 inches, blah blah blah. And I told my wife, we're gonna get a dusting. Nothing's gonna happen. Lo and behold, we got a dusting. And sure, it looks snowy, but it's nothing. It barely. I mean, you can see it on the neighbor's truck. It barely did anything. They lie to us. And at this point, like I don't even look. If you're involved, you can't be mad at someone like me for asking questions. Right? You have to be a little bit understanding in all of this and say, yeah, it's uncomfortable. It may be what it is, but man, sure is weird. First, you get born again good, shot by Ross, and now you have this Peretti guy who sure doesn't look Italian. But see, that's the thing is most of us don't think that way. We don't think that, like, did you know that Moonves, would you ever think Perez or Moonves were friar names? But they are. And so Peretti, it's just, man, again, it's a weird thing. I don't like to. It was like when Handy Sook came out, and for a very long time, I wouldn't engage in that conversation just because I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be the guy that if it turns out that everything was, I didn't want to be the guy to cause any parents any pain. I didn't want to be the guy that hurt people in that regard. But then when you watch the movie, We Need to Talk About Handy Sook, it's impossible, right? It's impossible. Oh, of course. I love how you say we're not going to do anything. Unless, of course, you're one of them. But more than likely, oh shit, it's the Sunday morning mass hall and I forgot to title it properly. We're not gonna do shit. But I see these Minnesota things happening, and It'll be ours. You will have zero ownership of it. Again, unless you're one of the friars, unless you're a high-ranking piece of shit, you keep saying we, and you're not involved. But that's, that's how stupid they make us. What's up, Zeke? What, Zeke? Zeke the cat? What's up, dude? What? What is it, fat boy? Are you fat like Zeke the cat? Zeke the cat is the biggest, fattest cat you've ever friggin' seen. He's a big boy. How big that cat is. He's huge. He's huge, humongous. Like, there's a lighter just to show you how big this cat is. He's huge. Anyway. Man, I don't, it's so weird, right? It's so weird how this whole thing is playing out. And like I said, we're getting these situations that end up unifying and dividing. Although, this guy is not a lesbian. This guy, like, the footage clearly shows. I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna spin this one, because they spun the Renee Good, the Born Again Good story, that she was attacking and yada yada yada. And even though it's clear that didn't happen, the white guys that hate lesbians and hate gays, well, they hate ugly lesbians. They like hot lesbians. I don't know. Did you see that? I mean, personally, I don't let shit slide. I try to, I keep an eye on things, and if it happens, it happens. If it happens and it proves me wrong, then I'm going to talk about how I was wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Don't you think it's really fucking strange that Ian Carroll and Nick Fuentes are in a tiff right now? I mean, you can't tell me that all of you people have, if you followed that narrative, have seen that shit play out and not thought, man, this is really weird, because that crazy guy with the hair, he basically said all this. He said that they were going to start falling apart. He said that the lie can't be maintained. Doesn't matter, bro. You put yourself there, that's what happens. I mean, to a degree. And that's probably the mentality they want us to have. It doesn't matter if you put yourself in that position, a completely legally protected position that all of us, basically do every single day, which is leave our house and be out in the public and whatever. But if you do that, then they're allowed to shoot you. Like, this is the mentality that they're putting out there, and clearly it works. There's no reason to end people's lives over not agreeing with you. And whether it was Renee Good or especially this dude, there was no need to shoot somebody. I mean, that's fucking stupid. And then you look into the what's going on. Initially it was coming out that Jonathan Ross was identified as IDF. That sure has been shut down. But that's like I said yesterday, like, it's it's actually kind of shameful what you're seeing. And it reminds me of my neighbor. Respect laws, and he would have his life. Yes, there is respect laws. What law did he break? Come on, dumbass. Let's see what sort of dumbass argument you're gonna make. I would love to see this. You put yourself in this position. I would love to see how you're gonna pull yourself through this. That's the problem. People poking the bear will get poking the bear. So do you think people standing up for rights and doing, again, completely legal protesting? It's legal. It's fucking legal. That's like all of you dumbasses that are like, America, it's America. Narrative goes. Do you think it was just like, just landed the boat here 500 years ago and everybody was like, here you go, and there was no protest. Like, do you not remember the Boston Tea Party and shit like that? Do I like death metal music in certain situations? Yes. You can, but there's consequences, bro. No, there's not. You're stupid. Again, this is so you think protesting leads to murder? You think that's how that works? Peaceful protesting leads to murder, and that's totally justified. Let me guess. You're white. Are you white? No shit. You're Y-O-U-R, white. What? First of all, clearly I'm not. But even if I was, what would that matter? Shut up, these people ruin our country. About time we take it back. What are you talking about? Like, again, this is such a little dick white guy thing to be arguing right now. And I just don't understand. Take our country back from who? Do you not pay attention? Do you know who controls this country? It's like, do you believe that the stuff that you see on the media is Hamas propaganda? Like Hamas has a way of controlling the news in any way, shape, or form so they could get their propaganda? I mean, you're just really stupid. If you have a concealed gun, you don't go hands-on with the police. Well, yeah, but you do. That's what concealed carry means. That's what all it is. But that's not what he did. If you look at the footage, he really didn't do much. From New Zealand. Oh, so just like Americans, your entire identity is based on oppressing people and killing natives, killing brown people. And you're commenting on something that you don't even. So you honestly think that anytime people protest, people should be killed for it, and it's okay if they are. Like, do you know how stupid you sound? Hey, I guess as long as we're not talking about Bondi Beach anymore, because that shit sure did go away when it started coming out that it was all IDF, that the shooter was IDF, and it's all IDF. How did you earn the right to walk around indoors? How did you earn right? Because America was threatened and the soldiers went off and died, and it's all bullshit. You're so stupid. If you think that because you're an American, like, you've never been in danger. As an American, the only danger that you are ever truly in is from a cop. You are more likely to die from a cop than anyone else. Right? It's like you've got to. Like, you're so funny, I'll go. So now suddenly, like, Lucy's, this is your new thing. You pick this word up in the last month or so, and now you just use it over and over again. This is your new convoy. This is your new, whatever. This is the new thing that you're gonna fall behind. Because the Luciferians, those damn Luciferians, it's not the same people. They are not worshiping the devil, you moron. They are not sitting around, oh, hail Satan, blah, blah, blah. They're not doing that. The only reason they have the Luciferian, the Lucifer connection to it is so the vast majority of you stay the fuck away. That's literally it. They've programmed you enough, like especially black women, old fat black women. If you even hint that something has to do with the devil, what do they say? Do they say, oh shit, tell me more? What do you mean? Oh, Lord, no. Keep that away from me. I don't even want to know. I don't want to hear nothing of you have to say. The devil is, get away from me, Satan. It's fucking stupid. They're not Luciferians. They do not worship the devil. There is no devil. You're just being fooled again. And it's incredible that you allow yourself to be fooled over and over again solely because you want it so bad. You want there to be a boogeyman so bad. I mean, I've been telling you for well over a decade that it's the Jews, and you've told me it's Switzerland, it's the World Health Organization, it's this, it's that, it's everything. You never understand what it is. Look, we got it, Jason. This is a big boy conversation, and you're not prepared. Okay. You're, Y-O-U-R, a white guy bootlicking for Hispanics and blacks, LOL. I mean, I don't even know how to begin. Obviously, the stupidity it takes to say that is somebody who doesn't even know his own yours, right? How is it the blacks and the Mexicans' fault that you don't speak English properly? Right? What is it? What is it? They literally have you out here defending murder by a quasi-police organization, and both of the people killed were fucking white? That's you're arguing when white people are the ones being killed. And you're, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, not smart enough to put it all together. It's embarrassing. Here's at the top, yes, but the people under them are very real. What does that even have to do with it? I don't understand. You have long hair like women, brother. Oh, so good old Alfie. Do you prefer your dudes with short hair? Is that how it is? You like your dudes with... How do you like your dudes' hair to be cut? Do you like your dudes to have a spike? Or do you like it just a clean shaven? Do you like a bald head? How do you usually prefer your dudes there, Alfie? Wasn't it obvious that he's in the closet? Wasn't it? Couldn't you tell by his comments that he was in the closet? He likes his dudes with short hair and clean shaven and whiter skin, clearly. You are the only one who agrees with you. About which thing? See, you don't even know what you're arguing. You don't even have a reasonable perspective. You have one dude talking about, you're bootlicking for blacks and Hispanics. We gotta take our country back, blah, 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 blah. And white people were killed. How stupid can somebody be? You say Lucy's aren't real, but they do really horrible things to children. Why do you think, but again, why are you associating it with Lucifer? You realize that it doesn't go hand in hand and it's not mutually exclusive. Why do you need them to be devil worshippers? You know what the craziest part is? The biggest majority of pedophiles that you see, especially those that get caught by your regular people, are Christians, white Christian males. White Christian males are the biggest pedos in the country, consistently, over and over again. At least they're the ones that get caught the most. Obviously, I think the friars are probably worse, but from a numbers perspective, white people are going to dominate that. Belch. But as far as the amount of Luciferians that are actually out there hurting kids compared to the amount of Christians out there hurting kids, it's not even close. It's not even close. But again, you're doing what they want you to do. As long as you're calling them Luciferians, you're doing you're doing the job they want you to do. You're playing the cards right. Don't call them friars. Don't call out the Christian right that continues to has been doing this forever. The Christian Catholic bullshit that's been. Don't call that out. Call them Luciferians, which will give which will give the stupid people the justification and everything. They won't have to look as hard in their own family and friends. As long as you're not a Luciferian, well, I'm not worried about you. Right. They call themselves Luciferians, some of them, to keep stupid people away from what they're doing. What don't you understand about that? As long as they call it Luciferian, there is a large portion of the population that won't even touch it, won't look at it, won't learn about it, won't hear about it, nothing. As soon as you say Luciferian, they shut off. Because it's the devil. Come on, Wolfie. Aren't you going to tell us about the kind of dudes you like? Do you like your dudes big and muscly? You like them with short hair, big and muscly, white, clean shaven? Come on. Elaborate. Good old Alfie. Ow. Again, Augie, you've been arguing with me about the same shit. And what's funny is you've called them multiple different names throughout the years. I've called them the same thing. And you'll call them one thing for a while, and then that'll get exposed, and then you'll switch to something else, and then you'll switch to something else, and then you'll switch to something else. I've been saying the same fucking thing for a long time now, and the only thing that's happened is it's been proven true. Everything I've talked about has come true. Every single thing. Oh, no. I did think they were going to bring COVID back last fall. So I was wrong about that. But we still have the spring to do it. It's interesting how when you start calling people out, they start getting quiet. But hey, this is how this works, man. I've been doing this far too long to let average dumbass come in here and affect me in any sort of negative way. You see it firsthand. I'm not the one that's afraid to answer or engage. You make a point, even if it's stupid, I still engage you. I still address what you're saying. I'll go. You've made lots of dumb points over the years, and I address them all. Are you aware you are? It would be an average dumbass, not a average dumbass. You average dumbass. But good try. Good try. It's funny though. Nobody would watch you. If somebody would watch you, you'd do it yourself. But you and other people are watching me, and me being so average, somehow I bring the same pedophile Israeli bot trolls to my feed every day. Isn't that weird? Must not be doing anything. This just must be average shit. Funny thing is too, if you just stick around my feed, you'll see shit you don't see anybody else get. For me being so average, it's weird that my feed works the way it does. What are you, in the grammar police? You a third grade teacher or some? Yep, that's what it is. I just think it's hilarious that when you're in an intelligence, you're going to call somebody stupid, you're going to call somebody average, you're going to do whatever you're trying to do. And it's the first thing you've said, right, today. And you're trying to impress and put that perception out there that apparently you're smarter than I am. You're not even live. You're not even on the spot. All you have to do is type it correctly, and you can't even do that. If you can't even, do the third grade grammar bullshit, everything else you have to say is moot. No point. You're dumb. Clearly, you're too dumb and too lazy to get things correct. You know, it doesn't matter to you to be correct about things. So if that's the case, along with all of the other dumbass things you constantly say, you know, you're basically just making it easy for me. What do the Clintons, Podestas, the Diddy's parties, and the Balenciaga crowd all have in common? They're distractions? They're all things the media tells you to talk about? They're all things you wouldn't know anything about if the media didn't tell you to look into it? Oh, and he said psychosis. There we go. So we know that this person is more than likely just another dumbass friar, right? Just another dumbass friar. Because the idea of psychosis, if you don't agree with them, if you don't agree with their supremacy, their Semitism, then you have a psychosis, you have a mental disorder and paranoid delusions and all that. If you don't believe that they are supreme, then they break out the psychosis. They start talking about mental issues. They can't actually engage in anything. They don't have any intelligence behind their arguments. But they've been told through their secure community networks and all that other shit that the best thing to do is to say, that person is schizophrenic. You're schizophrenic. Take your meds. It's the same shit. Open-minded. Where are you going? Where you been, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Any regrets, mate? Like, you're 45 plus, and what you got to show for it besides ramblings? Oh, should I be showing you guys my stuff? Should I be? Oh no! Some random clown came on here and said something. Oh, I got money in my pocket, bro. I got money in my pocket, bro. What I do know is that you're watching me. You watch me every day. When I'm done here, I have a family. I'm not some loser just waiting for the same guy to go live every day so I can beg for his attention. Because the thing is, even when I end this feed, if I go live again, you'll be here again, begging for my attention like you always are. But hey, I should let me show you my assets because I want to prove blah, 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 blah. Because, again, let's talk about me. Let's not talk about the bigger picture. Let's not talk about how we should kill these pedos, how we should overthrow these friars. Let's talk about Guy, because we're just so obsessed with Guy. So stupid, man. Like, it would be one thing if you came on here and your first comment was like, look, I'm really stupid. I'm not going to be able to engage in any sort of real conversation or even follow the conversation at hand, but I'm going to say things for attention. Like, that would be a lot better because then everybody would know who you are. At least you'd be honest. You're Y-O-U-R, a pothead, and in all honesty, my true biggest fear is to end up as you. Well, let's hope you don't. Mate, I'm stupid, so let's let's so real, you can't touch those guys, so please save your breath. Who's gonna do that? Other than dumbass friars, who's good apparently that don't have English isn't their first language. Yiddish, Hebrew, those are their first languages. So when they try to speak and they try to, sound intelligent, they always end up fucking up. And the your is a really good sign. The fact that your, to, there, those are some of the most difficult words for foreigners to get in the English language because they all sound the same. It's basically the same word, just spelled differently and completely different meanings. But they always stumble over those kinds of things because they're just Israeli bots. I mean, when your bot program is created by fucking inbred morons, you can't expect it to be much better than the inbred morons that program it. But, I'm nothing, right? I got 11 viewers, 4 likes, 2,500 subscribers. And if you're watching, like, share, and sub. But I'm this nobody. I'm this nothing. Literally, just nothing. So why would anybody not just come here and tell me to stop doing what I'm doing, but come daily? You don't matter. You don't matter. You should stop what you're doing. If I don't matter, then what are you doing? You can't even you can't even say what you're trying to say properly. And we're supposed to take you seriously. And again, anybody else that's here that on the fence, sort of wondering what's going on, ask yourself if any of this makes sense. Ask yourself if you would do any of this. Is this something you would do? Would you make a fake profile repeatedly? Because every once in a while you start using PEDO code and I block your feed, so then you make another one just so you can watch me and talk shit, but in such a stupid way. Like, how many people would actually do that? I see this shit every day, man. And I try to, engage. I try to figure things out. But it's so weird. It just doesn't, like, again, go back to the bigger picture of things. First of all, the fact that nobody's talking about Bondi Beach anymore is kind of strange. Mate, I'm not saying YOU are wrong. And your YOU apostrophe, now you get it right, not speaking facts. But it's just sad that you think it's making a difference. Oh, well, then I should stop doing it, right? I should just stop because it doesn't matter. Literally, who's going to tell anybody that? Like, let's say you were watching somebody that was practicing, basketball. And you could even say, look, I'm not saying you can't shoot, you can't dribble or anything, but what are you doing it for? You're never going to make it to the NBA. Like, who's going to say that shit to people? And again, considering it's Sunday morning, you've been here for a while now, but it's 9:45 on Sunday morning, and you have absolutely nothing else in your life that you want to go try to find somebody doing something and be like, stop doing it. It says a lot about you. And I started basketball. I tell him probably don't quit your day job. Well, man, you sure are awesome, huh? Like, how about this? How about you're not very good at trolling? You're not very good at sounding smart, so you should stop. Okay? You should stop. You sound like a fucking moron, and you're just making my feed even better, so you should stop. When you absolutely suck the debates in if you absolutely suck the debates in politics and had no understanding of true history or geopolitical events, I would tell you, right? This is an arrogant douchebag, right? This is one of those guys that is like, I'm a Christian, but you can't ask him why. This is one of those douchebags that, again, it's Sunday morning and he's looking for people that he can tell them they're not good enough. Because that's what his daddy did to him, so that's what he's going to try to do to other people. See, again, it's so crazy that you guys are so obsessed with me and I'm supposed to feel bad about it. you're obsessed with me. You're fanatics. You're fans. What the fuck do I care? And that's your opinion. So I guess by your own statement, you should be nice to me. What? No. No, I'm telling you what you just said, that you're terrible at this. That's all. I'm hoping you get better. You know, it'd be better if you were better, but you're just not. You're not meant for the debate. You're meant for chalupas and tacos. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, tacos are amazing. I'm not a big chalupa fan, but I like me some tacos. So, again, why are you on my live feed again if what I'm saying doesn't matter? I only have 3 people here, so even if you're trying to troll and look good and for the other, there's only 3 people here. What's the fucking point? I'm not a Christian, you clown. Yeah. I know. I haven't been around because I've been super depressed lately and been watching mindless stuff on Netflix for like a whole week. Well, that doesn't do you any good. The best thing you can do in those situations is go to a place like this where people will be honest with you. Sometimes you need to hear the difficult truth. Sometimes you need to pick me up, but honesty is always the best route. Keep on assuming I'm also not a fan of the small hands. Right. So then you're a pedophile. Is that the one? What is the motivation for you to stalk me and be obsessed with me, the guy who thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow the fire control scheme? What is your motivation then? I'm 56 years doing this. Now I'm 56. I thought I was in my 40s. Dumbass, you just disagree with yourself. You're supposed to be encouraging me. Do you know what punctuation is? You should really try using punctuation because otherwise your shit sounds stupid. Dumbass, you just disagree with yourself. You're supposed to be encouraging me if I'm a bad stroller, like budding basketball star on my way to the NBA. Yeah, that made so much sense. If you smell something fishy, it's probably because you're picking up your own scent. Well, that's not how it works. Usually people don't do that. But again, Lori Gaggle. Is it Gage? It might be Gage, but it looks like Gaggle. Gotcha. Now, I'm sure you have some really good things to say here, right? So again, the guy that thinks we should overthrow pedos, or we should kill pedos and overthrow the fryer control scheme. What issue do you take? Oh, look at this shit. Look at how dumb this is. Brother, nobody likes a small hand when you're bending them, when you're thinking your YOU making a difference. Obviously, whatever I'm doing is working if you dumbasses are here all the time. All the time. Johnny's page that joined a year ago and has no subscribers. I'm sure that's real. That's not exactly what we're talking about consistently. That's not Team Jorge. That's not Act.io. It's just regular people, Sunday morning. They're like, hey, I'm going to go. I set my alarm so I can go watch this guy that I watch every day and beg for attention. I think it's fucking interesting, man. If what I'm doing doesn't matter, it sure doesn't matter to a lot of people. And I know you'll say, again, look at the feeds. Ask yourself if it makes sense. 2,500 subscribers, 4 watchers, and 5 likes. Because that's how shit works, right? The rapture is happening, is it? Apparently you're too stupid to even know your own book, right? Because if the rapture was happening, what would happen? What would be the first thing that happens to signify the rapture's beginning? Come on, dumb Christians. Let's see what you have. Fuck your grandma, you're not in my class. So if that's the case, then why don't you just fucking lay on the keyboard and just assume people will get what you mean? If words don't matter, especially when you're in an intelligence contest, and you're on a computer that gives you the right word. You choose to put the wrong word in. So you're either lazy or stupid, or more than likely both. You're just stupid and lazy because using the correct word, it doesn't, it's not like it's extra effort, extra energy. Like when you use the right words just naturally, when you don't have to think about it, it's not a problem. I never have to sit there and go, wait, which your am I supposed to use? I can just type normally. Which to do I use? Which there do I use? It's when you're intelligent, it's just as easy to use the correct word as it's difficult to use the wrong words. If I'm texting someone and I don't use the right word or the wrong word pops up or spelling or whatever, I'll send you the word correctly. I don't want you thinking I'm too dumb to get the words correct. But I'm better than you. So when you're better than trash, you do things that you don't do things that trash, or you do whatever. You do things differently than trash does. And trash is like, it doesn't matter what words I use. Duh. It's I appreciate the examples. I'm gone, but this is sad, man. Leave your ego behind. Oh, leave your ego behind, says the person who is on somebody else's feed trying to get them to stop what they're doing. Yes, my ego is outrageous. More of that Christianity programming bullshit. Telling you not to have a strong ego. Of course you should have a strong ego. Of course you should. You should know what you're good at and what you're bad at and do that and know that you're the best person for the job. If you're good at something, you should be proud of yourself and do it. If you're so good at something that people will waste their lives, obsessing over you, do it. Do it to the fullest. Ego is not a bad thing. Being cocky is. Arrogance is arrogance is the thing that just permeates everything, and it's the thing that keeps the dumb stupid slaves we're supposed to be. Arrogance is the biggest fucking problem we face. If again, I was doing basketball every day, and for the last few years, you watched me play basketball for 2-3 hours a day, and I just got better and better and better and better and better, and anytime somebody did step up, they got smashed. They started, somebody comes up and says, I can beat you in basketball. So we start playing, and immediately they start, getting out squirt guns or running around doing jumping jacks, or, they bring out a football and start throwing a football. Like, that's basically what you guys do, You say you can engage in this, but then when it comes to the engagement, you throw a football. You're just like, what the fuck? What do you know we're playing basketball, right? No. But if I sat there and I sat on my feet, I'm the best fucking basketball player I know. I'll beat anybody that comes my way. I'll take on any challengers. Nobody would say, yeah, that's your ego. Your ego is stupid. And if you thought, hey, you know what? I play a lot of basketball. I play every day. I think I could take you. Well, then you'd have a strong ego, and those egos could go up against each other and see which is the best. The difference is, you guys aren't the type of competition that also practices daily, right? You're the fat piece of shit that maybe played basketball in 8th grade. You were second string in 8th grade, and you're 35 and you're fat and out of shape and stupid and all these things, and you're like, ooh, I could get off the couch and beat you. I'm like, bitch, I can hit it from any point on the court. I can dribble with both hands evenly. I can jump and grab the rim. You think you can beat me? That's arrogance. Arrogance is the guy that thinks he can beat the other guy. Confidence and ego is the guy that's been practicing every day and is good at what he does. And again, I probably do have to explain it. I'm the guy that does the practicing every day. I'm the guy that you guys literally watch do this every single day, and then you beg for my attention. You're just some dumbass who thinks he could get off the couch after 20 years and still compete. You barely remember some bullshit you barely passed in school, and now you're going to sit here and act like, you're the superior intellectual in the situation when you can't even be bothered to get the 3rd grade grammar correct. I mean, it's just a joke. But there's a huge difference between arrogance and confidence. P gonna start fucking up now. Let's see. You can't even speak English right. RITE. Oh my God. Like, your phone gives you the correct word. Now, this dumb girl profile has been here now for a few days, so this is par for the course. I'm totally expecting that. But just that example is like, how can you ever expect anyone to take you seriously when what you're saying wouldn't pass 3rd grade, a 3rd grade test? You probably couldn't pass a 3rd grade test. Let's see. I'm not even I'm not even typing to you. This is speech to text. Yep. So now it's the computer that's fucking up. Yeah. The computer is using the wrong words because now you're saying you're so lazy, you can't even type out these, misspelled moronic sentences that you're putting out there. And the computer is now doing it. So now we know you're a lazy, dumbass, like a liar, basically. You're a lazy, dumbass, and you're a liar because now you're scapegoating the computer for you being stupid. Instead of you going, nah, you're right. You got me on that. You're going to blame the computer. Now I see why Trump wants to bring back the mental institution. I love when females are Trump supporters. I hope he grabs you by the pussy one day. He's done such great things for women's rights. He's clearly a fan of women. What kind of horrible, literally, like, imagine the type of female, like, that's Ghislaine Maxwell level kind of female, right? The type that knows this man has been convicted of multiple, like 36 fucking counts, and the E. Jane Carroll thing that the judge said that they couldn't necessarily prove penetration, although the judge believed that he raped her. There was no physical way to prove the rape, the penetration aspect, so he was just found guilty on, the sexual assaults and all that other shit. The Lake Michigan story sure has disappeared quickly. The Blow and Bubba story sure has disappeared quickly. Yeah. The Virginia Giuffre story, like all of it. If you're a female and you support Trump, you're just Like, what kind of sick, disgusting human being are you? It's amazing. It's like black Christians. Like, what are you fucking thinking? Do you not know what you're doing? But it's worse. It's worse. It's so much worse. A fucking female, man. It's crazy to think that a female would support this piece of shit. Look at this shit. It's just the dumbest. This guy says libtard. King says good old Elfie. Elfie, how do you like your guys to look? Remember, you haven't said that yet. I'm a descendant of a king. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you are. You're, Y-O-U-R, the guy that defend other races over his own. Yeah. You're the type of guy that thinks he has an understanding of race, and apparently it doesn't matter what a person does as long as they're the same color as you, you'll defend them. What kind of stupid, like, this is just, I appreciate it. It's still fucking, like, it's still, oh, now we have the fucking, the guy that pretends to be a priest. Oh, it just gets better and better. Guys, watch. The guy that pretends to be a priest is going to do nothing but say stupid shit. He so jealous of Trump. Not he. He's so jealous. Am I seriously dealing with like middle schoolers here? Like, it's the craziest shit. Yeah. Well, the grammar aspect of the comment is because you guys don't actually say anything of merit. It's not like any of you make any decent points. You're not like, oh, well, Trump's done this and Trump did that. And what about that? You don't bring up shit. You don't know shit. You don't know anything about friarism. You don't know anything about your Christianity. Like, even the priest doesn't even know his own fucking bullshit. And yet, so the only thing that left to do is to point out your stupidity. If you guys made real points, then I would try to address them. But it's just this stupidity. Like, look at it. It's just he keeps pointing out how stupid I am. He's so stupid. He keeps pointing out how stupid I am. And like I tell you guys, if English language isn't your first language, then a lot of these mistakes make sense. Right? If you speak Yiddish, Hebrew is your language of choice, then these little tiny, these stupid ass, third grade grammar mistakes, this is what you do. But none of these guys are going to be able to talk about the Havara agreement. None of these guys are going to talk about auto-emancipation, proto-Zionism. They just don't have the ability to engage. And it shows you. And the thing is, too, they know that these are the things that are going to get talked about. They understand that I'm reading from a script. They understand that I'm going to say the same things I always say until those things are fixed. They could go, and I literally give you a list of links for you to go, look at, learn about, and then you can debunk what I'm saying. You watch you look at the links I give you, and that covers a large portion of my argument. So I'm giving you the ability to debunk me if you can. And yet again, this is the best that they do. Yiddish is Italian, yeah, and I can speak German and understand a great deal of Yiddish. I'm sorry? Oh, King Alfie. Good old Alfie is back to my hair again. Alfie, tell us how you like your dudes to look. Come on. Tell us, what kind of haircut do you like your dudes to have? Why won't you answer these questions? Why are you so combative, guy? You're so aggressive. Because I hate you pedophiles. I hate, especially you people that, if you were a priest, but, Even pretending to be, like you're pretending to be a pedophile. I fucking hate you pedophiles. Like with everything I have, I hate you pedophiles. So that is that an answer that you're okay with, or did you need something else? Your little gaslighting bullshit doesn't work on me. Why are you so aggressive? Again, this is a guy who claims to be a priest. It's 10 in the morning on Sunday. Why are you on YouTube? Don't you have work to do? Look at these fucking dumbass things. Look at this. It's just, they got nothing. It's nothing. You have nothing to bring to this table. So you just keep saying stupid. You bring a Brittany Griner and shit? Come on. This dude a pedophile. There's no way he comes on and rants about it that much if he's not right. Yeah, because the pedophiles are the ones out there encouraging people to kill pedophiles. What's more likely? The guy that encourages people to kill pedophiles is a pedophile, or the guy that finds the guy that encourages people to kill pedophiles and tries to shut him down or talk shit. Who do you think is more likely to be the pedophile? Let's be real here. We could put that in any sort of context you want to, right? Who's more likely to be the football player? The guy that goes online and throws a football and, you know, knows everything about football, spits out football facts, history, all that shit. Or the guy that comes in and says, I hate football. I don't talk about football anymore. Who do you think's going to be the football player? Huh? I guess I got it a little backwards, but still, you get it. Look at these stupid ass motherfuckers. They just, and the thing is, calling them pedophile works. You know, it bothers them so much that they try to use it back against me. But since it doesn't really work, you know, they just end up looking stupid. These guys are morons, man. You know, these guys are just morons. They're your standard, like, you know, if they're a real person, which I do give you guys the vast majority of the time, I give you the benefit of the doubt, right? I I I I think the majority of you are fake bot Israeli bot profiles. If you want to really push the idea that you're a real life person who wakes up on Sundays, sets their alarm so they can come find my feed and then cry for my attention because I'm the big bad guy who thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow the Jews. Yeah, like, it's just amazing. Yes, you clown, it's common defense. It's even noted within, you know, thousands of years old literature. What? What are you even saying anymore? You just don't understand how stupid you sound, do you? Yeah. Again, let's just break it down to the simplest form. The guy that spends his life encouraging the killing of pedos is the pedo, or the guy that tells that guy to stop doing what he's doing. Why would anyone try to get me to stop doing what I'm doing? Other than pedos and Jews, I just can't understand who would be here in opposition. You know, your occasional Christian, I guess, but that doesn't last long. Christians are just dumb cowards. Seriously, they're like a joke. It's actually pretty sad. Look, we have somebody that says long. So they're flying the pedo flag, and they say, "Long live Israel." What are you on about the Jews? Which part don't you understand? That they're a pedophile cult, or that they control the world? Which one? Which part? So now you're talking about like weird gay stuff, right? As soon as you start making it gay, again, you have to wonder who these people are that are like, we're talking about real stuff. We're talking about pedophilia. We're talking about, and for some reason that turns them on to the point where they start talking about sex. Oh, this guy's all about smoking poles. Right? Like, dude, you let people in, whether you mean to or not. You say a lot. Like when you fly that Israeli pedo flag, you're saying that you're an absolute 100% total fryer piece of shit, right? You are a piece of shit. You're a pedophile piece of shit if you fly that flag. And, they know they can't defend it. They know there's nothing they can say. Nobody that flies that flag, nobody that identifies as that shit is going to be like, why are you saying these things? Because they know why I'm saying these things. They know it. They just hope we don't know it. They hope the Goyim don't figure it out. They've said it plenty of times. If the Goyim figure out what they're doing, then we'll rise up and overthrow them. If the Christians and Muslims ever work together, it'll be the end of them. They know it. They've been kicked out of 109 countries in the last 1,000 years. Nobody ever asked why. And so much of it is because they're a fucking pedophile cult. And as much as we're racist, sexist, homophobic pieces of shit, like your average Trump supporter, racist, homophobic, sexist piece of shit, even the racist, homophobic, sexist piece of shit Trump supporters, for the most part, can't support his pedophile nature, can't support his pedophile side. And so, he's losing his constituency in record numbers. And if he's not, it shows you what a horrible piece of shit you are. Right? If he doesn't, if you see, just at the very least, at the very fucking least, without a shadow of a doubt, there's 100% certainty that he's covered for pedophiles. He's engaged in the cover-up. That is the very, very least you can say. And you still support that, just shows, again, what a monster, what a horrible piece of shit you have to be. It's not even I wonder. It's you have to be. If you knew that one of your neighbors was a trafficker, a human trafficker, even if you were to be like, yeah, I'm not necessarily a fan of it, but that's not even what you do. You guys know he's this person, and you support him. I mean, I just don't know what the fuck to say. And I think it shows you, the average person, it should show you just how big the pedophile problem truly is. You better watch your mouth before talking bad about your people. Notice how, again, he doesn't say, we're not pedophiles. We're not a pedophile cult. We're not genocidal pedophile psychopaths. He doesn't say anything like that. He just says, hey, Goyim, you better not say those things. You better not tell the truth, Goyim. We're not prepared. We're not smart enough. We're not able to override your arguments, so you better not say them. They're a disgusting pedophile cult. And the only way we actually make the world a better place for everyone is by eliminating that pedophile cult. So when I win the 2028 election, because I am running for president in 2028, at the top of my docket will be making this pedophile cult illegal in the United States and offering them one last little bit of crumbs, because they will no longer receive any money whatsoever from us. Israel will be immediately cut off. The only thing that we will do is pay for their plane ticket to the Jewish Autonomous Oblast, which most of you don't even know about, right? I'm a paranoid crackhead. Yeah. Look at me, paranoid. Wow, you said something somebody else has said. Good job. Again, notice how even these pieces of shit, they don't go, well, I don't like you. I agree with you that we should kill pedos and shit like that. They don't say shit like that. It's just attack, because apparently, what am I saying that's wrong? If anybody can tell me what I'm saying that's wrong, I'd love to hear it. Especially you dumb piece of shit friars. Where are you? You know, you had this dumbass come through and pretend like, you better watch your mouth, and then he runs away. They're cowards. They're only tough when the IDF is standing behind them. You know? They're only tough when somebody is there with a gun to protect them. And the target is a woman or a child or something. Then they get really, really tough. Outside of that, they're just inbred friar pieces of shit. And they know it. They know they're not capable of actually engaging in this at all. Like at all. But this is how it works, man. You know, how many people do you know that go live? 2,500 subscribers. They have 7 viewers and 8 likes. Show me the other guy that gets this. I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to compare notes. You know, show me the other time you've seen shit like this. Barbara T. What's going on, Barbara T? Sure hope Mary's alright. I haven't seen her in a minute. Whoa, Thaddeus changed his profile picture. That's a first. Haven't seen that in a long, long time. Oh, Oggo's already here, so we don't need to send Oggo anything. Matt must be sleeping, so let's wake Matt's ass up. Yeah, we'll try to see if Carrie is available and Leah is available and Karen is available. Let's send one to David. Jim. Good old Jimberly. Good old Jimberly. Send one to Kelly. Hey, Kel. It's interesting because you see all of these truthers out here, and none of them check their messages. Interesting how none of them ever check their messages. But they definitely want you to pay attention to their shit. Send one to Sean. All right. Morning. I clicked and then fell back asleep. Well, you needed to sleep. It's not a bad thing. You can need sleep. What the hell happened? It just stopped. I'm going to skip to this one. Why isn't the... Oh, it's because of the car. That's what it is. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Thing connected to the car. That's what it is.
The worst Hollywood stories, the one we don't see. Like 1, 2, 3. He spelled it out slow.
8 viewers, 9 likes. Totally makes sense if you're watching, like, share, and sub.
Just watch the tape.
If you've seen this before, if you know, then it's no big deal. But if you've never seen anything like this, then help, man. Help out. Show this shit that we are not going to take their shit anymore. You're seeing it everywhere. The thing is, like, the funny part is I'm just a fucking, I'm just one of many nowadays. There are so many people saying similar things nowadays. It's really strange for me. I went from being this guy, this pariah, this guy that was, you can't say those things, to now I watch as people say the same things I've been saying for years, acting like it's new, and they're allowed to have these huge followings. And so me being the crazy ass me that I am, I have to ask what's going on. What's the difference? And the one thing I can tell you that is very, very commonplace amongst all of these truthers is their affinity for some JC, some Jesus. The fact that they literally stop Zionism is the bad guy, not the cult behind it. No. Yeah. I mean, again, imagine stumbling into this feed and being like, oh, you're talking about killing pedos and overthrowing the Jews? Well, I want to talk about no ceiling. Like, who the fuck is that stupid? Other than Paul. Paul. It's amazing. And it just happens over and over again. And, it can be kind of confusing because, a lot of people might not know what they're seeing. A lot of you have never heard of Team Jorge. A lot of you have never heard of Act.io. But Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm run social media disinformation campaigns to manipulate the outcomes of elections. The group was exposed in February 2023 after an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from Israel and France as part of a consortium of investigative journalists. Wait, a consortium? That would mean it's more. So it's actually France, Germany, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Spain, Tanzania, and the United States. That's the consortium. The organization has been active on paper since at least 2015, just before Trump lost by 2.7 million votes. And then AIPAC swamp that he swore he was going to drain put him in office anyway. Remember that? Learn, turdy. How y'all feeling? Look at the feet. Oh, I remember being skinny and having giant feet. Yeah. Lost the election, put him in anyway. Hillary left, was like, all right, cool, I didn't want to win anyway. Like, the whole ruse that was the 2016 election. And boasts of having manipulated 33, gotta love that 33, presidential elections worldwide, many of them in Africa, so you're safe, white people. And in 27 cases with successful results. 33 times they've tried. This is one. This is just the one Israeli Black Ops organization that was exposed. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of them. Israeli Black Ops organizations, well-funded, off the books, able to do whatever they want to do. Just one of those organizations had an 82% success rate, 27 out of 33. 82.2 or something, 82.5, can't remember. 82.7? Whatever. They had an 82% success rate, manipulating presidential level elections. Can you just wrap your head around that? One Israeli Black Ops group was able to successfully manipulate elections 82% of the time. Their activities were revealed following a 2022 sting operation in Tel Aviv carried out by 3 undercover journalists who posed as prospective clients and filmed their interactions with Tal, T-A-L, Hanan, H-A-N-A-N, the group's leader and former Israeli Special Forces operative. He said that the group had been active for more than 2 decades, not since 2015, 2 decades, more than 2 decades, and has been engaged in propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries. Their services have been available to government intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. And it's a Wikipedia page. It's not like it's a secret. They advertise that for $6 million that they'll covertly manipulate public opinion, that they'll interfere in an election for you. And imagine if this was Muslims doing this. Imagine if this was China doing this. Black people doing this. People would be rightfully upset. These guys are bragging that they're capable of manipulating elections 82% of the time. We should step in on that, shouldn't we? You see, there's plenty of videos with Sucker Dick talking about how proud he is that Facebook has eliminated bot farms. 1,000 bot farm profiles out of China, 800 out of the Philippines. You never heard anything about Israel. They never say anything about the bot farms they get rid of in Israel. Because they don't. One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. The software automates centralized control of thousands of fake social media profiles across the board. And when you read further into it, you read the articles, they say it's not fair to call them bots. It's more like avatars, because not only can they have conversations that bots aren't supposed to be able to have, if the fake profile is Billy Bobson, there will be a Facebook Billy Bobson page, an Instagram Billy Bobson page, a YouTube Billy Bobson page, and it will control all of them equally. And they also say that they're capable of creating 30,000 of these bots at any given time to either support or attack somebody. So when your Ian Carroll appears out of nowhere in March 2023 and suddenly has 300,000 following and is on Rogan, all it takes is 10 of these black ops organizations focusing their efforts for a couple days on building him up. And that's it. That's how that works. But go ahead, tell me how I'm wrong. Please, by any means, somebody tell me how this isn't what's happening on my feed. All of these profiles that are supposedly here because reasons, but they want the guy that thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow the Friar Israel leadership. They want me to stop what I'm doing. Who the fuck do you think that is? The problem being, too, you guys just don't understand how truly pedophilic their whole belief structure is. You know what? I've never even looked this up on YouTube or on Wiki. At least I couldn't find it last time I tried. Well, Tal Hanan. That popped up. Is there any new updates? Nope, no new updates. Been the same. Said the exact same shit now for the whole time. Let's see.
Can't keep control. Can't keep track of where it's traveling. I've got my heart.
Metzitzia. Brit Malah. So Brit Malah is in here, but metzitzia doesn't have its own wiki page. At all this time, and it still doesn't have a page.
Turn off the sun, pull the stars from the sky.
So Brit Malah.
Or I give to
Oh, here's the metzitzia. What the fuck? It's right there. What page is this? Brit Milah. So on the Brit Milah page, they actually have a section about the metzitzia. In the metzitzia, the guard is slid over the foreskin as close to the glands as possible to allow for maximum removal of the former without any injury to the latter. That's just not true.
You are the perfect drug. The perfect drug.
Uh-oh. I started reading you stuff that they don't want you to know, so suddenly I'm a tweaker from Tweakerville. This person suddenly pipes back up again just so they can talk shit because I started reading stuff that you're not supposed to know. A scalpel is used to detach the foreskin. A tube is used for metzitzia. No, it's not. In addition to milah, the initial cut amputating the acropasthion, acropo, I don't know, and pariah, and subsequent circumcision mentioned above. The Talmud mentions a third step, metzitzia, translated as suction, as one of the steps involved in the circumcision rite. The Talmud writes that a moil, circumciser, who does not suck creates a danger and should be dismissed from the practice. So when people try to downplay the significance that this doesn't happen, this isn't happening very often. It's a very small, select few, a very ultra orthodox, and that's not what it is. What's crazy is how people think the crazy truth isn't possible. We literally live in an insane world. I think we live in a beautiful world, in a wonderful world with lots of potential. It's just the fucking people in charge are insane. I get what you're saying and all that, but again, I think words are very important. So I think when everybody walks around saying all the time, this world sucks and life sucks and blah blah blah, the world is ugly, the world is Satan's realm, the world is blah blah blah. It's not. The world is a beautiful, amazing place, full of the life-giving everything we need. We need to stop thinking about it like it's a negative. We need to stop thinking about life like life is a negative. Life only sucks because the people that control things make it suck for us. But it could be so much better, so much so easily. I know that's what you meant, but there's a lot of people that don't understand. Talking about circumcision, sorta, yeah. Talking about Brit Milah and metzitzia b'peh, actually. And providing evidence that what we're dealing with is a pedophile cult and not just a religion. It's just a religion. No, it's a pedophile cult. Again, the Talmud writes that a moil who does not suck creates a danger and should be dismissed from practice. And this idea of a tube, the tube is something very, very new. The tube was only introduced recently as like a oh shit, they're onto us sort of thing. But whether you're talking about a tube that's like this long or your mouth, it doesn't fucking matter. It's what are we talking about here, people? And they try to make it seem like the biggest issue is the fact that sometimes herpes is transferred, and that even I guess there was a case where a kid died. I don't know. That doesn't happen very often. But they act like that's the main issue, that herpes can be transmitted and that kids can die from it. How about the main issue being it's fucking pedophilic? I don't care what you justify it as. It's fucking pedophilic. Nobody else would ever even come close to being allowed to do something similar to that. Oh yeah, we just do that because of our traditional stuff. It's tradition, so just turn a blind eye and go back to doing what you're doing, Goyim. Rashi, on the Talmudic passage, explains that this step is in order to draw some blood from deep inside the wound to prevent danger to the baby. Kabbalist Rabbi Shalom Sharabi and Rabbi Itzhak Luria have written that he that performs metzitzia ought to cognizantly endeavor to draw away the evil inclination that lay within the blood that is extracted. Ugh! You know, these 8-day-old babies, they're, because at least with them, they wait 8 days. With us, you know, the friar doctor does it to us within hours of being born. It's one of the first things American males experience in life is a trauma that none of us can even think about. You think, oh, I don't want to talk about that. Ugh. And we do that to our children. We allow it to be done to our children. We don't even do it to our children. We allow it to be done. And we allow it to be done based on some biblical Jewish bullshit about, you know, God doesn't care how we treat each other. God doesn't care how we take care of the world. God doesn't care if we take care of the animals. God doesn't care about anything like that. The only thing God cares about is that the Jews continue circumcising and themselves for sure, and then as many of the slaves as they possibly can, marking their property. It's unreal. It really is unreal that this is how this works. What questions do you have there? Person that's saying, dude, bro, dude. There are other modern antiseptic and antibiotic techniques, all used to be part of the Brit Milah, all used as part of the Brit Milah today, which many say accomplish the intended purpose of metzitzia. However, since metzitzia is one of the 4 steps to fulfill the mitzvah, it continues to be practiced by Orthodox friars. No, not just Orthodox. Everywhere. They all do it. They just don't want you knowing how much they do it. You can't have thousands of moils in this country, each one bragging that they've done it thousands of times. You had the one guy saying he had done over 30,000 or over 35,000 in his career, which worked out to like 3 per day. If he had a 30-year career, it was like 3 a day. If he did it every single day without breaks. Every single day he was doing 3 a day over 30. That's how long it took. Now, if it's a 50-year career, he's still doing at least 1 a day every single day. Do you understand how insane that is? Especially when, again, you have thousands of them throughout the country and they're all doing it. That's their job. That's what they do. And if it's one of 4 steps to their mitzvah, a mitzvah is like a commandment. It's like you have to, you know, not only is it as important as any other mitzvah, no other mitzvah is more important than circumcision. Circumcision, the whole ritual, is amongst the most important things in their entire cult. It's what Hanukkah is celebrated for. Hanukkah is a celebration of circumcision. It's fucking crazy. Three a day keeps the doctor away. Ugh. And again, look at these comments. Who the fuck hears this conversation and isn't, you know, inspired to be like, wow, that's fucking awful. How do we do something about that? You know, in spite of our differences, We have to get together to protect these children. This is fucking disgusting. What is going? They don't say anything like that. They're on here cracking jokes. And real people like Matt, I know Matt is a real person who's not a friar. Compared to the fake profiles that have, most of the time don't have a profile picture, but even if they do, they've been around for 13 years and have 1 subscriber, whatever it may be. Those random troll profiles are here cracking jokes about fucking pedophilia. Who the fuck does that? Other than pedophiles, obviously. Other than pedophiles, who does that? Remember how I always tell you, if you let people talk, you'll see who they really are. And I always use myself as the example. If you're hanging out with me and we're out and about somewhere, or we're just doing anything, within, a very short period of time, especially if we're out and about and there are examples everywhere, you're going to know I'm a big fan of titties pretty quickly. Like right now, there's titties on TV. I just happen to look over and there's titties on TV. Not even full on titties. Titties in a fucking shirt, but I'm still looking because I'm just a big old titty fan. You wouldn't quite know looking at my situation, but it's the truth. And I'm going to make titty jokes, and I'm going to, just little things you're going to know that are not conscious efforts, but little, we're walking, and you're going to see me, you're going to see my eyes look. And, even if I'm with my wife, I'm going to look. I might even point them out. Not all the time. Definitely not all the time. But if I see them, I'm going to look. And you would know. You would just see it in me. You would be like, hey, I just saw you looking at them titties. Well, that's why pedos have to hang in pedo circles. That's why pedos don't generally have lots of friends. Because they out themselves. If they're walking around, you're walking with your buddy somewhere and you notice that he does that turn, but it's to a little kid, you're going to be like, what the fuck did you just do that for, dude? Oh, I was looking at their shoes were crazy. I was looking at their shoes. And they're going to make stupid fucking pedo jokes that nobody else makes. That real people would be like, ew, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Pedo jokes are off limits. No, what are you talking about, pedo jokes? But like I say, if you just leave them free, I could block people as soon as they show any sort of resistance or whatever it may be. Yeah, what's the point? They don't actually say anything that matters. Like, they don't say anything to discredit me or anything like that. But it also, strengthens my point, especially when they out themselves. Look at, see what I mean? Look at how stupid these people are. Again, I'm giving them the out. I've said it time and time again. Fucking at the very least say, yeah, you're right. I think you're a douchebag, but you're right. We should kill pedos, blah, blah, blah. What can we do to override this? How can we fix this problem? And they still don't do it. Because they can't. It's like this idea that back during the Holocaust, the friars had to wear a badge so they could be identified, a little armband or something pinned to their shirt. And instead of just doing the smart thing, which is not wearing that shit and leaving, they just couldn't. They couldn't denounce their shit. They couldn't pretend to not be that thing in order to survive. Life and death situation, and they're not going to pretend. It's the same thing. It's like it's impossible for them to pretend to not be pedos. It's what they are. 13 viewers, 13 likes, 2,500 subscribers. That makes sense to you, right? That makes sense? Like, share, sub, guys. Take 2 seconds. Click share. When it pops up, click Facebook. When Facebook pops up. Fucking if you need to, put this guy's crazy. Come tell him so. Whatever you need to do to make yourself more comfortable. But help. We need the education system changed to something more realistic. Teach kids critical thinking skills so they can develop their own perspective. Yeah, but that's not what Rockefeller said. Well, Rockefeller's guy said. Rockefeller supposedly didn't actually say it. His guy said it. But it's, they need us to be stupid. They need us to be smart enough to work their systems, even though that's not even as accurate anymore. Because of our ingenuity, we have developed systems that put our fellow Goyim out of work. Something that you never ever think about. There were literally, for years, there were men who had families, who had a house, who had a vehicle, who put kids through college, who died after a long career as a fucking elevator operator. They made a decent living being an elevator operator. Grocery stores used to be full of fucking cashiers and baggers and shit. Now they tell us to do it ourselves and we don't even get a discount. I've seen multiple times where you get like the remote control lawnmowers. So a guy can own a lawn mowing service and he has a bunch of fucking robots that do the majority of the work. Sure, the lineup work, the real clean cut stuff, they can't do that, so they need one or two people to do that. But they just eliminate. Go to any fast food joint nowadays. You go to the kiosk and order for yourself. Somebody cooks it for now, and somebody gives it to you for now. But they're just eliminating all these Goyim jobs, all these poor Goyim jobs. Not everybody's going to be an engineer, and yet they're getting rid of all the jobs that keep people at least from being on the streets or from doing crime to survive. If you can't get a job, what are you supposed to do? If you were born in the hood, you went to these fucking hood schools, which are awful, are fucking awful. You have no education. You were raised in a single mother household. She was a fucking crackhead. You had no chance of going to college. Maybe you got yourself through school. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you were unfortunate enough that you had a kid. And you had to go out there. Well, what are you going to do? If you can't get a job because nobody will hire you, what are you left to do? It doesn't, we don't live in a world where, where if you're struggling one month and you can't, you can't afford your light bill, you can call and say, hey, I'm struggling this month. I can't afford my light bill. Can you help me out? And they pay that. Instead, you have to wait till the charges build up so high that they come and cut your shit off. And then once they cut your shit off, now you got to go through this rigmarole to get them to, they'll pay it. In some cases, they'll pay it. But why don't we have systems in place to help people? Especially when you hear these narratives of like these corporations who are delinquent as can be on their light bill, on their water bills and whatever, millions of dollars owed, and the system doesn't do shit to them. Let you be $200 out? Oh, they're coming to shut your shit off. Because, in our society, if you're struggling, the best thing to do is to, like, if you can't pay your bill, the best thing to do is to fine you more money on top of the balance that you owe to be able to get your shit back on, which a lot of people, most people, they need their shit on so that they can go to work, so that they can do what it takes to make that money. But hey, let's cut that off. Oh, you got in trouble? You know, you couldn't pay your car insurance or your for your tabs or whatever it may be. Well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to charge you even more money, and you're not going to be allowed to drive until you get this fixed. Like, what? How am I supposed to get to work if I can't drive? Mary, what's going on? They live in a tent city like my brothers and mother. Jesus, that's so terrible. That shit is so terrible. How does that exist in the United States of America? How do we live in this place? And again, while we're giving billions of dollars to Israel so they can commit genocide. Like this is one of those presidencies that for decades afterward, people will just be like, how the fuck did that happen? Look at how bad that one man made things. And look at all the dumbasses that were like supporting him doing it. They didn't benefit from anything he did. All of his shit benefits the upperest crustus. The most upper crust people, they benefit from Trump's bullshit. But us regular Goyim, we are just suffering. What was the thing? Like the bailout for the farmers was like 30% of what the decisions made cost the farmers, and yet they gave them a bailout that was like just pennies on the dollar. Yeah. Fucking sick friars. That's all they are. Who hears these conversations and isn't moved? Isn't like we need to do something about it? Who sees a feed that has 12 watchers and 14 likes while having 2,500 subscribers and thinks, well, that's fucking normal? That's how all the shit works. Whenever I see a live feed, that's what I see. Way more views than actual watcher, way more likes than viewers. Fucking always happens, right? It's just fucking insane. I you know, like you see these interviews with Netanyahu talking about Iran, we stand with you, and like who falls for this? Who in their right mind believes anything Netanyahu says anymore? How is this guy? Like, I don't know a person that likes him. I don't personally know anybody that supports Trump, honestly, not openly. But I definitely don't know anybody that supports anything Israel. The only people that support Israel are the random fucking, friar bots that come through here. Right. This guy is now fantasizing about how I smell. This dude that is obsessed with me and is always, now he's talking about how I smell. Like, wouldn't, who do you suppose that is? I promise you, they're not in charge because they're smarter than us. They're in charge because they're more ruthless than we are. They're willing to do things like starving a population while dropping bombs on them. While also claiming that they are the victims. They're not smart. That's why they don't engage in any sort of intelligent way. It's just this weird stupidity. I wish. I wish Weinstein would have killed himself.
Imagine you're some girl. Your world is your small town. Your prom gown's your future wedding dress. The amount of stress is best addressed by professionals. Yet the infectious pull to not be your mother smothers your brother's need for you to stay. So on your way, you what the hey, your pretty face chasing the sun as it sets. Hedging your bets, you step to the plate, not knowing how fate can make you a switch hitter. Spitters are quitters, and Mr. Sister, the bitter won't taste the sweet, sweet fame. Weinstein didn't kill himself.
Yes, exactly. Reach for anything you can latch onto. In this case, I was just gonna say ad hominem. It's ad hominem. Every chance you can get, it's ad hominem. And you only do that because you're a fucking moron. You know, they're not sitting on some great argument that they're just waiting to unleash. It's fucking, it's just flat out stupidity.
Well-known 10. Someone that friends ended their relationships for. But now, your score's nothing more than poor to basically average. The truth can be savage, the damage relentless. If you were daddy's princess, you'll win less than you lose. The abuse only confuses at first. Your worth converts to how many squirts your shirt can be served without cracking. Attacking the hatchling, they're laughing at us.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh. What do you guys, I mean, I just, like, I see this whole narrative playing out, and I wonder what you guys think. Look at the thumbnail of this video. Does that guy look like a Peretti? If I said that it was whatever his name was, Peretti, wouldn't you assume it's an Italian? And if that guy's an Italian, I'm shocked. Because, man, that is a very friar-looking Italian. You know, I don't know about all these things. I don't know about Renee Good. I know. I just it's amazing. Her name happens to be Born Again Good. You know, I'm not supposed to notice that shit, I guess. I'm not supposed to notice that the shooter's name is Jonathan Ross, and he was initially identified as IDF, but that just sort of went away. And it got transferred into, oh no, he's got a fucking Filipino girlfriend or wife that nobody knows anything about. He's a vehement Trump supporter. He was stationed in Afghanistan for 10 years. But it was just Afghanistan. It wasn't Israel. We swear it wasn't Israel. He was in Afghanistan for 10 years. 6 months prior to, he's drugged by a car, has 33 stitches in his knee or in his leg. And then 6 months later, he's out on the job again, shooting at somebody, driving at him. Like, the whole thing is just... It seems strangely scripted. I really hope, for the love of everything, this one is one big psyop that wakes everyone up. Yeah, that's the thing. Whether it's this Renee Good, or it's this new guy, or it's Handy Sook, or it's whatever, isn't it better that that there weren't actually kids killed, or that it wasn't, you know, this person, isn't it always better that it wasn't real? I always think it's strange, like when it comes to me denying slavery happened, saying that the slavery narrative is bullshit. You know who fights me harder than anyone else? Black people. Black people want to have been slaves more than anything else. It's the strangest thing. You've been tricked into thinking these things.
We could live in a shack with everything gone and everything wrong just wouldn't matter. When you come along, your song is the answer to all of the cancer life constantly offers. Open the coffer, hold the buffer you wear full of pride. My heart will be softer once I'm inside the incredible life is together. My jackpot is high. The best lever.
I always hate these kinds of things because, the last thing I want to do is insult a family, a victim's family. And, I don't know. Like, it's weird because it puts you in such a weird spot. And then you think, like, they're doing this on purpose. They want us to fight. Did you see the photos of the huge protest, though? That shit was crazy. Right? It's fucking nuts. Like, again, if you can show me the opposite of the coin, the opposite side of the coin, if you can show me where there's the other side, where there's the people that are like, yay, ICE. Yay, everything we do is great. Go, Netanyahu. Like, where's all the... Netanyahu was here 5 times last in 2025. Trump went there once. They had 6 meetings, basically one every 2 months. Face-to-faces. Show me the citizenry rallying to support Netanyahu being here. Show me the large crowds of support for anything Netanyahu. Obviously the actors in Congress and shit will give him their big old standing ovations and that kind of bullshit. But show him out speaking to the public and having the public... it's like when Ben Gvir was here. And Ben Gvir thought he'd do what he always does, where he just walks down the street like I'm a badass. I can do what I want. And of course, he only does that because he has armed security around him. But as he's doing it, more and more people are coming up like, get the fuck. As they start yelling, they start getting obviously aggressive and violent, violent sounding, getting ready seemingly to attack, to the point where the security detail had to just whisk him out of there. He lasted like 10 minutes maybe. And we chased him the fuck out of there. Because there wasn't a whole other side. There wasn't like a bunch of people out there like, yay, Ben Gvir, you're our hero. The friars are cowards. You don't see them out there standing up for shit. If they do, again, if you see some sort of pro-friar rally, it's very, very well protected. Literally, everybody hates him. Everybody hates Netanyahu. I don't know a person that thinks Netanyahu is a decent dude. I don't know. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. It just doesn't exist. Hey, 14 watchers with 14 likes. By all means, please help me out. Share the video, like the feed, share the feed, sub to the page. We have to fight this. I'm going to give you free music for your efforts. www.the-bilderberg, BILDERBERG-group.com. The link will be in the description after the fact. If you need it before I'm done, go look at a previous video. All you have to do is click download. It'll ask you how much you want to pay for it. If you click 0, it's free. If you donate $10, it's awesome. If you donate $1,000, it's even better. You know, we appreciate all those that have donated, but you don't have to. All we ask is that you share it with people.
Hides what I really meant to say in beauty, it's so priceless. It's kind of like a knife, it's less fun stuck in your back, but using it to fight fits like Jews supplying crack.
This is a joke.
White or red or yellow, as long
This
as
is a
Jews
joke.
aren't attacked, they
Thanks, Mary. I appreciate you.
and drinks and pills and
All I need is another million Marys and I'll be good to go.
our shoes are all Velcro, not tied to some campaign where unless you're them, you're stained since they have the whitest collars. And you'd better not complain or else they'll take away your dollars. But you're allowed to holler about how silly Christians are. And Islam is fodder for country songs with a guitar since we're told to joke and pull the card of everyone but them. Yet we all stay inside our yard when chosen dogs bark at our fence. And
Woo.
the wheels don't make no sense unless you.
I mean, it's just I'm.
Fuck Samantha Goldberg, Bryson Friends.
It's one of these things where it's like, you trumpets, you trumpanzees. Where's your consistency? Like, if you're gonna be the trumpanzee, racist ass, America first bullshit, my parents had sex here, so that means I deserve more rights than somebody whose parents had sex somewhere else. If that's how you're gonna think, then at least be consistent with it. Why are the trumpanzees so okay with all the Israel stuff? It's gonna be because of them that American soldiers die. We don't have we don't have the beef with people. The only thing we have the beef over is Israel, is our support for Israel. That's why all those Middle Eastern countries hate our freedom. They don't hate our freedom. They love the average American citizen. They think we're great. You know, Rick Steves, for those of you without cable who watch PBS, or at least used to, I haven't watched a Rick Steves in a long time. But Rick Steves did a specific series where he went to Iran. And he, you know, they were accompanied by representatives, which, of course, like, if you're Iran, of course you're going to do that, knowing that these guys are coming from the United States. And the United States loves to make Iran look like bad guys. Of course you're going to say, yeah, you can come film here, but we got to sort of keep an eye on what you're doing. We don't trust you. That's not them being overly anything. That's them being smart. You know? But he went there and he talked about how, yeah, you know, it's rigid. There are spots where it's a little sketchy, but have him come to Detroit and we'll see what he thinks. But for the most part, he was welcomed by all of especially the people. The people welcomed him and loved him and talked to him, and they didn't know who the fuck he was. He's Rick fucking Steves. Nobody knows who the fuck that is. But they were just like, hey, American, like, you're welcome here. We absolutely welcome you. Like, there's no animosity. And he did a whole, like, multi-part series on it. He did. It wasn't like he just went to one place. And he was welcome. The only time I've ever actually seen a situation where somebody was like that was with Morgan Spurlock when he was doing Where in the World is Osama bin Laden? And he went all over the Middle East, never had any problems, had all the same experiences. Everybody loved him. Everybody welcomed him. Everything was okay until he went to Israel. He spoke to Golda Meir, who was like a fucking, you know, just like the asshole she was. This land was promised to the Jews by God thousands of years ago. And at one point, they're standing like sort of by one of the borders, and the tanks shoot near them, like give them warning shot. They get scared. They got to leave. So then at some point, they find their way into an illegal Hasidic settlement. And he gets out and he's like, I like to talk to people. Would you like to answer? Can I talk to you about these things? And everybody would walk by and be like, no. And then he would ask somebody like, well, what do you think about this whole Palestinian situation? It's all a myth. It's all a myth. It's all made up by your media. Your media is making it all a blah, blah, blah. And they'd run off. And within about 10 minutes, he is surrounded by Hasidic fucking freaks yelling, goal, goal, dumping water on them from above, or hopefully it's water. You know, just they're a mob is surrounding them, and it's just because they want to hear the friar side of the story. This was their chance to be like, you know, look, we're not psychos. And instead they were like, look, we're fucking psychos. And he had armed like military security with him that you never saw throughout the entire video, the entire movie. The only time that security was necessary was when he was in Israel trying to get their point of view. No, I mean Hasidic. Absolutely. A Trumper told me to move to Russia or China because I don't like the IDF. Like, does that person honestly think the IDF likes him? I love these dumbass Christians that think like if they went to Israel, they'd be treated respectfully. Now he's on the days instead of just fucking hating women. Yes, I hate women. Don't I hate women, Mary? Aren't you like, I hate this guy because he hates women? I'm making all people with valid points look like idiots. How is that possible? If you were making a valid point, how would I make you look like an idiot? Is that like you can't open up the books on Israel because you demonize Israel kind of shit? That's what it sounds like. I couldn't make you look like an idiot if you weren't an idiot. But I'm glad you're acknowledging it. You were hating on women all morning yesterday. Yep. Absolutely hating on women. Hating on women by saying, I totally understand and respect your periods, and I think it sounds horrible, so I don't think you should be in a position to where, you know, you affect other people's lives when you're so compromised like that. We already have enough of a problem with little dick men being Bluto just got the fucking spinach. We already have a problem with little dick men being cops. No, that's truth. People aren't comfortable with. Hate women. Are you ever happy? Aren't you ever happy? Oh, I'm so happy when I see dumbasses like you desperately trying to make me look bad and failing. That makes me happy. I think that's pretty funny. Dude's always crying, yep. Always crying about those damn pedophiles and how we should kill them. How dare I think we should kill pedophiles? How dare I think we should overthrow the slave masters and make life better for everyone? These guys are hilarious. But like we always say, like, look at how when you can't argue against what's being said, you just start desperately grasping at straws. You just start desperately saying whatever you can say and hoping that shit sticks. Speaking of differences doesn't mean you hate one or the other. He'll never hate on the Mexicans. For what? What? What a dumb-ass, desperate thing to say. If Mexicans were the people that you white people are afraid of, I'd definitely say something. But I don't have any reason to hate on Mexicans. Oh, those assholes that come and work like super, super hard and do a really good job doing it. They make all you lazy ass white people who literally, somebody said it yesterday, try to milk the clock for as much as you can. They make you look bad and you lose jobs to them. Oh. Look at how stupid you are. You haven't said shit about any of that in like 2 hours. I've seen. What are you even talking about now? Are you a dumb girl? I'm assuming you're a dumb girl. Because you're playing the dumb girl part. But I don't want to make assumptions now. Yeah, some Mexicans are awesome. Some Mexicans are douchebags. It's pretty simple. But literally, do Mexicans affect my life at all? No. The only thing that Mexicans do, or at least South Americans do, is make it so my salads don't cost $85. I love white people crying about, they took our jobs, because, you have white people lining up to get those picking jobs where they're out in the sun all day picking for very little money so that the place can still make a profit and the cost can stay down. And it's those white people are like, man, I sure want to do a picking job, just those Mexicans won't let me. And you're always hearing about the Mexicans taking the doctor jobs, taking the engineering jobs, taking the high, the high sales jobs and all that. That's the Mexicans doing all that, right? It's so funny that the arguments that people make. The one dude talking about if we just taxed all the illegal Mexicans being here, they say like 30 million Mexicans are here. I think that's what I read. Something stupid like that. But if you taxed all those Mexicans, the 30 million Mexicans, you're not going to top $3.8 billion. And $3.8 billion is just the base amount that we give Israel. We give Israel many more billions on top of that every year. Not to mention all of the billions that we have to pay out to everybody in the Abraham Accords and all the other things that we have to pay for so people play nice with Israel. Look at this. I've been knocked down to what seems like one viewer, 15 likes, one viewer, and 2,500 subscribers. Please show me somebody else that's on this level. Show me somebody else that's even close to this, especially when it's clear there's more than one person. Now it says 0. Now I have 0 people here. Mexican is a nationality. Which ones? Us red men, Native Americans with ancestry older than any settler, or the European ones that also pass for white? Got to be more specific instead of generalization. Well, you have to love how white people white people make up 69% of the United States population, but they're also racist as fuck against themselves, because if you are one of those white people that have Hispanic backgrounds, you're tainted. So if you take out the white people with Hispanic backgrounds, now it's only 55% of the population. It's fucking silly. It's silly as shit. And, Native Americans and Mexicans are the same fucking thing. But at the same time, I don't believe in it. I don't believe in the Native American genocide. And I know, just like black people really want slavery to be a thing, Native Americans are the biggest genocide supporters. But the narrative is just stupid. Sorry. I don't believe Native Americans were that stupid. I don't believe the Native Americans continued to make deals with these white people that continued to renege on the deals. And when white people invaded, there were supposedly 100 million plus natives in the Americas. And that number slowly changed. So at the point where there was, 100,000 white men here, and they knew that these white men were motherfuckers who just reneged on everything and blah, blah, blah. Why didn't they just say, hey, you know what? I know we disagree about whatever Native Americans supposedly disagreed on, but let's work together to get rid of this cancer real quick. Why wouldn't they have done that? It's a dumb one. Look, we have another profile like this. When one people's got guns and metal and others got rocks and stones and wood, we'll see whose technology wins in the long run. When one people's got, like, exponentially more people, they know the land, they're very good with bows and arrows, of which don't take forever to load. You're talking about musket days, where each shot that wasn't even accurate, they had to like fucking load that shit in, pack that shit in, load it again, pack it, do this, do that. You're just dumb. You think they had like Gatling guns and shit. They didn't. They didn't have fucking RoboCop armor and shit. None of it. And the fact that the natives knew the land, were very proficient with arrows and spears, didn't go by the rules of engagement that apparently white people did, having, well, at nighttime, there was a truce between the North and the South, so they could clear the battlefields at night. My teacher told me, when I asked my teacher, well, how did we get, because we were reading one of those fancy notes that were supposedly written by the dying soldier. My dearest beloved, because in the South they could all speak eloquent as fuck. My dearest beloved, I am watching my final sunset, for I have been mortally wounded defending this great love of mine, the Confederacy. You dropped something! You dropped the jacket! Lady over there. I don't know. I don't know. She didn't say thank you or anything. Bitch ass. But the whole North versus South narrative is just, it's dumb. And so they're writing, I'm mortally wounded. I only wish I could see your beautiful face again shining like the porcelain. And they even write out the. And I asked my teacher, how did we ever get those notes? That's pretty stupid when you think about it. And he was like, well, at nighttime they had a truce, so they could clear the battlefields, because we were talking about, Gettysburg and shit. The first day, 20,000 soldiers died. The second day, 8,000 soldiers died. The following day, 2,000 soldiers died. Meaning every single night, so they'd fight all day, then they'd spend all night clearing the battlefield. Because how long do you think it would take to clear 20,000 dead bodies? That'd be a pretty Herculean task, don't you think? You're out there bumping into the guy. Oh, I almost shot you today. I saw that. I'm going to get you tomorrow. You ain't getting me, Sean. I'm going to shoot you. Okay. And of course, the North was in the blue and the South was in the gray, right? Or is it the other way around? Either way, what are they? It's nighttime. What are they got like torches and shit? They can tell blood-soaked red from blood-soaked gray. And again, all those uniforms, the South. Who was out there creating all the uniforms for the South? Just lickety split. The Confederacy lasted 4.5 years. How did they get all the armaments, all of the fucking uniforms? As they're marching troops all across the country, how are they feeding everyone? 100,000 troops marched from Georgia to Gettysburg to partake in the Battle of Gettysburg. How the fuck did they do that? They marched. What were they eating along the way? How were they cooking that shit? What was happening? How long do you think it would take for an entire fucking platoon to march from Georgia to Gettysburg? It's so fucking stupid. I was told I was Native American my entire life until my mother died. That damn DNA kit. We're Mexican. Man, it's the same shit though. Mexican and Native American is the same shit. I used to work with this guy called Carlos Garcia. He spoke Spanish all the time. But if you said he's Mexican, he'd be like, fuck you. I'm Native American, man. What are you doing? Okay, dude. When one people's got guns, no. Who gives a fuck? See, now you're putting words in people's mouths and opinions in people's mouths, and never then they had Gatling guns. Yes. I didn't say you said that. I said you're acting like they had Gatling guns. See, again, when you're desperate, you hold on to stupid shit. Instead of engaging in what's being said, you're crying about your misunderstanding of a conversation. Look at this shit. Isn't it crazy, Mary? Crazy, Mary. Isn't it crazy? Look at how weirdly desperate this whole thing is. And this was all to stop me from talking about this, because I was talking about metzitzia, and we just went in this direction. So, let's see. So, we'll just go from here. So basically, it says that any moil who does not suck creates a danger and should be dismissed from the practice. This step is draw blood from inside the baby. Let's see. Which say, okay, so the other modern antiseptic and antibiotic techniques, all used as part of the Brit Milah today, which many say accomplish the intended purpose of the metzitzia. However, since metzitzia is one of 4 steps to fulfill the mitzvah, it continues to be practiced by Orthodox friars. I guarantee it's a hell of a lot more than just the Orthodox friars. When it's part of it's one of 4 parts of the mitzvah. They're not going to do 3.5 parts of the mitzvah. This is a mitzvah. This is as important as anything else, and no other mitzvah is more important. This ritual is why Hanukkah is celebrated. It's the Maccabee Revolution. It's all of these things, and you want to sit here and deny that it's as bad as I say it is? They just lie and say, oh no, it's just practiced in the weirdest communities. Then why does everybody defend it so much?
Did you have a minute? Read my post. The video footage. It's the lady that did the picture. Did you look at the video I tagged you in?
Yes. I am a resident of the... See, did you see the guy? Have you seen the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure doesn't look like he's Italian, does he?
I don't care.
I know you don't care. Oh, sure. Exactly how you're supposed to feel. So, if it's a psyop, if it's designed to make you feel how you feel and want to like that.
That's what the news media is saying about him. They're saying he was there to shoot ICE agents. They're fucking lying.
Of course, they're making the narrative how they want it. It just fits. It's just like Renee Good. Born again good.
He's dead, and his family doesn't have him anymore.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to say and think. That's how psyops work. The problem is you're going to end up finding out over the next few days that it's more and more and more. Again, the idea that an ICU nurse is going to go to a place to go shoot people, how does that even make sense? They
His
switch.
last words were, "Are you okay?" So the lady he was trying to help up before they snatched him and shot him.
Again, if you look at it from the perspective you're given, it doesn't make much sense. It just seems like what none of this makes sense. Why would they have even shot him? You know, all of it. It just doesn't make sense. But as soon as you sprinkle it with some conspiracy, it makes a lot more sense.
Well, that lady is too afraid to fucking go home because she knows they're looking for her.
I am a resident of the Whittier neighborhood of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I am over 18 years of age. I am a children's entertainer who specializes in face painting. Well, I mean, you might as well say who you are at this point because you're identifying yourself.
Yeah,
On Saturday, January 24, 2026, at about 8:50 a.m., I was getting ready to go to work when I heard whistles outside. I knew the whistles meant ICE agents were in the area, so I decided to check it out on my way to work. I've been involved in observing in my community because it is so important to document what ICE is doing to my neighbors. Connecting to your local community and knowing who your neighbors are is something I profoundly value. I drive to Nicollet Avenue and 26th, where I could hear the whistles coming from. Wow, that must have been some loud ass whistles. I turned, well,
it was right near her house.
right, but those kinds of whistles can, that loud would damage ears. There were already several ICE agents there, and they'd set up sort of a vehicle convoy on Nicollet and 28th. There were also about 15 observers there recording and observing ICE. I saw ICE agents surrounding cars and punching car windows. I also saw them stopping vehicles further down Nicollet, so I backed up because I didn't feel safe continuing on. I noticed a man sort of acting to help traffic move more smoothly. He helped me find a place to park. I got out with my whistle and camera. I went over to him and said something like, "I'm going to film and use my whistle." It seems like most ICE actively was it seemed like most ICE actively was happening a little farther down the street from us, near 27th. Someone was being thrown to the ground. I started recording. There was an agent by a car across the street. Two observers were a few feet away from the agent, blowing their whistles. One was wearing a backpack. I and the man who was observing and helping direct traffic were standing in the street. There was a phone in the man's hand recording a video. An agent approached and asked us to back up, so I moved slowly back onto the sidewalk. The man stayed in the street filming as the other observers. I mentioned earlier were being forced backward by another ICE agent threatening them with pepper spray. The man went closer to support them as I got threatened, just with his camera out. I didn't see him reach for or hold a gun. Then the ICE agent shoved one of the observers to the ground. Then he started spraying all three of them directly in the face and all over. The man with the phone put his hands above his head, and the agent sprayed him again and pushed him. Then the man tried to help up the woman the ICE agent had shoved to the ground. The ICE agents just kept spraying. More agents came over and grabbed the man who was still trying to help the woman get up. All three of the observers looked to have been badly affected by the pepper spray. I could feel the pepper spray in my eyes. So wait, he was directing traffic and helped her find a parking spot? I'm sorry, that's just weird. That's a weird fucking connection for me. I'm gonna call it like I see it. Whether I'm on the side of the people. I don't support ICE even a little bit. I hate everything that has to do with all of this IDF bullshit.
I mean, it doesn't seem so strange to me. If I see somebody, if she stops and she's looking scared, confused,
That's not what it says.
I'd be,
That's not what it says.
Right
It says he was directing traffic. He didn't just help her find a parking spot. He was directing traffic. Just seems strange. That's all. The agents pulled the man on the ground. I didn't see him touch any of them. He wasn't even turned towards them. It didn't look like he was trying to resist, just trying to help the woman up. I didn't see him with a gun. They threw him to the ground. 4 or 5 agents had him on the ground, and they just started shooting him. They shot him so many times. So, again,
10.
he's on the ground being held by agents. And these agents are shooting him. Do you understand how...
Stood up and 2 of them started shooting him, yes.
But do you understand how dangerous that would be?
Yes.
They would be extremely likely to hit their fellow compatriots, especially with the way... Yes, they are. They're not properly trained law enforcement agents, but they're definitely trained. And they are. I tell that the most important thing for these people is their anonymity. That's all they seem to care about more than anything.
Way too fast to have them all properly trained. Would they get a week training? Oh, good job.
No, they didn't. They are IDF agents. They have been trained for a very long time. And and those that aren't actual IDF agents have been trained by IDF agents for a very long time now. This has been getting set up for a long time. They didn't just pull all of these ICE agents out of their ass. No. You know all the answers, but because of your emotional investment, you're not seeing clearly. And that's what they hope for. When you have the emotional investment, it's like with boxers, right?
People that are properly trained do not panic under pressure like these guys are doing. They're not properly
unless they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And unless what you're witnessing is what you're supposed to witness. But they're to just go with the dumbest narrative possible. Well, they're just dumb, and it's just more dumb, dummy, dumb. Instead of thinking it's all carefully crafted, coordinated shit to manipulate and manipulate the people into doing exactly what they want us to do. It just, this is a weird story. He's keeps trying to help this woman up as he's being sprayed with pepper spray, and he's just like, no, let me keep helping. Like that. What? Pepper spray hits you. You don't continue trying to help the person that you're trying to help. The reaction is immediate. And it's involuntary. So we have a guy who had a weapon on him, who was directing traffic.
Not in a sense like you're thinking. Not like a cop was directing traffic.
I didn't say he was directing traffic like a cop. You can't add words to what I'm saying to make your point. He was directing traffic. And then this person shows up. He helps them find a parking spot. And now these two are like attached. And he's no longer directing traffic. He is putting himself in the situation after being told to back up. I mean, that's what she's saying. Where she backed up. But he decided to go in so he could help this woman up. Continued to try to help this woman up as he's being pepper sprayed. Then he's down on the ground getting held by multiple agents.
And pistol whipped.
And then all of a sudden he gets shot. With agents still there and as they're backing up.
10 times, that was.
Right. And those bullets didn't ricochet and hit anything else. They didn't hit anybody else.
They continued shooting after his body was lifeless. You watched the video. It's fucking murder.
Yeah, of course. Again, I'm not denying what you saw wasn't horrible. The more horrible it is, the more the more emotion you're gonna feel. It's that simple. Shit. All right. I don't know why they shot him. He was only helping. I was 5 feet from him, and they just shot him. Further than 5 feet away. The video I recorded of what happened accurately depicts the events leading up to the agent shooting him and several minutes afterward. The video attached as Exhibit 1. I have read the statement from the DHS about what happened, and it is wrong. The man did not approach the agents with a gun. He approached them with a camera. He was just trying to help a woman get up, and they took him to the ground. Just weird. That is a weird narrative. I feel afraid. Only hours have passed since they shot a man right in front of me, and I don't feel like I can go home because I heard agents were looking for me. I don't know what the agents will do when they find me. I do know that they are not telling the truth about what happened. I've heard the other witnesses might have been arrested and taken to the Whipple building. I'm disgusted and gutted at how they are treating my neighbors in my state. I keep alternating between crying and feeling determined. It is important to remember the value of documenting injustice. We show up for the people who need us to bear witness because it can't. A lot of religious quotes in here. Because it can't just be one group of people bearing the brunt of their tyranny. This is a struggle to protect our freedom and democracy. Those things are on the line. He lost his life for those values. I declare under penalty of perjury that everything I have stated in this document is true and correct. Dated this, that, and the other. Okay. So, I'm sorry, but that's just... It's weird. It's a weird narrative. And it's strange how the video is not like what you would think a 2025, 26 video would look like. Especially not from 5 feet away. You know, it's just weird. I don't know. Let's see. Sorry, Mary. This is Wikipedia. No, this is a post Angela reshared. It took Grok so long to even touch on that.
The video, the lady in pink.
The lady in pink.
Which Instagram has scrubbed. So people that thankfully took screen recordings of the video when they saw it are the ones that are reposting it.
Yeah. Let's listen to you two talk. You're both extremely intelligent and you have your own points. Who? Grok? Grok is a fucking weapon. Oh, him and his wife. Yeah, she's a smarty pants. Incredibly smart. She's just quiet. I mean, she's like I always tell you, she's much more emotional than I am. She is the feminine. She is, she saw that video and cried. She's a mother who sees things from the perspective of that.
That was a human being.
Right. And
it did nothing.
She's not nearly as cynical as I am. And when it comes to this arena, she's not as educated as I am in this particular thing. I have to be very careful in what I say. Because I have to express awesome. We have babies! Everything's good, safe, happy, healthy? Let's go!
So why are you trying to tell me that I have some sort of responsibility when it comes to whether or not you let that thing get impregnated?
I did not see the San Jose shooting, no.
They were born 59 minutes apart.
Ugh. We know one's gonna be like, oh, what is it? younger brother, younger
At
sister.
midnight, the one will be older than the other one for
The
an
one,
hour.
no, the one will always be an hour older.
Well, yeah, but
That's
I'm
how
saying,
she's always. I'm older. I'm sorry, I'm older. Who's older? When were you born? I never see or hear bias except if Israel and I agree. Two twin girls are terrifying. Yes, it's fucking insane.
oh, I'm so excited for her.
Don't you think it's strange how my feed just got totally clipped like that? Ari Shafir. Oh, I wish Ari Shafir would mention me. That would be amazing. I wish I could fucking debate that piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's the Don Rickles of of today. He's how they get away with being racist, right? First of all, he claims to be atheist, right? And he's very, very racist. Like he said, he's a very typical friar in that regard, where he just says the most racist shit he can about everyone, and it's like, I'm joking though, so it's funny, right? But the way he gets away with it, the way they always get away with it, is by claiming that they make fun of Jews as well, right? He's like, oh, I make fun of friars just as much as I make fun of everybody else. But the way he makes fun of friars is, you know, making fun of how rich they are, making fun of uh, how mean they can be, but because they're so rich, because they're so much smarter than, he calls them the second smartest race behind the Asians, of course, because they're so much better at math. But he pushes all of the bullshit. He literally, a week after Kanye's bullshit dropped, you know, the thing where Kanye got in trouble and then Dave Chappelle and all that. Within a week, I don't know if it was before or after, I can't remember. He dropped a special literally called Goy, where the first 2 minutes talks about how how they call us Goy, how they think it's, how it's absolutely, completely derogatory. It's not nice. It's not cute. They're being fucking shitty. You know, he doesn't hide it at all. But he's not the guy going. He's yet another one that's not going. Yeah, metzitzia buffet is unbelievably horrible and needs to be ended immediately. We need to engage in this bottom of darkness investigation and eliminate that ritual practice that is apparently all over Israel at all times. And if it's all over Israel, it's here too. Let's see. What kind of dumb shit is this person pretending now? He lots of views on him because of you. I bet he does. Yeah. If I have that kind of power, that's pretty incredible, don't you think? Like, if that was fucking true, if you could provide me with a video where you have Ari Shafir mentioning my shit, I would love to see it. And the fact is, if he was really that fucking, unknown, that much of a not a star, that he could mention my name, and I don't see a huge influx of people from that, wow, he's pretty sad. Again, that's if you'd be dumb enough to believe this fucking guy. But this is what I mean. This is friar stupid, right? Because they think that when they say these things, they're like, this'll get him, They don't expect you to break it down and be like, look how stupid you are. You honestly thought that would be a good thing? Back down to zero. 0 viewers. 16 likes. 2,500 subscribers. Totally makes sense.
The noodles in that bowl of soup are the kit and caboodle of truth. The unusual fruit shooting up in the garden approve the excuses they're using to park.
Okay, the traditional. Okay, so now, so metzitzia b'peh, right? There's actually a whole thing here, right? Metzitzia b'peh, or oral suction, right here, right here. The traditional method of performing metzitzia b'peh, or oral suction, has been controversial since the mid-19th century. At the time, leading rabbinical authorities ruled that metzitzia could be conducted by instrumental suction. Yeah, but they don't prefer that. They prefer the hands-on approach. The process has the moil. Look at how they're trying to defend this. Look at how they're trying to present this right off the bat like it's not as bad as it is. They're presenting it like the device method, the tube method has been the standard practice and is the standard practice. Clearly, there was thought put into how to present this in such a deceiving way. The process has the moil place his mouth directly on the infant's genital wound to suck away the blood from the cut. Well, the cut goes all the way around. So again, look at how it's being presented. Like he's going, he's not doing that. He has to put the whole thing in his fucking mouth. If that's not enough, if I even need to read more for you to be like, well, maybe that's not okay. If you're not hearing what's being said and immediately going, holy shit, somebody needs to step up and protect these Jewish children, I just don't know what, I think these guys are the bad guys and I'm trying to protect them. I was just going to say that. How they present it. Right. It's crazy, isn't it?
Our goal is to cut off the head. Most conspiracies are simply...
They know that people like me are going to find it, so they have to present it just in case I'm curious as to what the fuck is going on. Many circumcision ceremonies no longer use metzitzia b'peh. Oh, that's it? That we're just going to double down on that, huh? But Haredi friars continue to perform it. And there's a big-ass Haredi population. In the middle of the 19th century, it was recognized that cases of syphilis, tuberculosis, and diphtheria were being transmitted between moil and infant by this procedure. So, holy shit. So this new thing where they're like, well, it might spread herpes. Well, we didn't know that. They've known since the mid-19th century that you can transmit all kinds of shit like syphilis, tuberculosis, and diphtheria. And we're still allowing this to take place because of religious bullshit? What's up, B Mac? Hope all is well. Me and the wife slept in and are just waking up. Did you get any snow? Yeah, it's fucking snowing right now. It's actually much more than the dusting I had anticipated.
You're supposed to get 7 inches.
Yeah. Don't you wish you only got that?
That's just a play toy. 7 inches.
Do you have... This guy wants me to post pictures of this bullshit. Again, what kind of sick fuck says that? Like, I'm not reading Wikipedia telling you that that's what's happening. I'm making this up. I somehow came in, had Wikipedia say all this, so then I can come back and be like, oh shit, I never read this before. Let me read it. This dude wants fucking pictures. Like, see what I mean? If you just leave them, instead of blocking them when they say something stupid, if you just leave them, they'll out themselves. There's not a single person on here who was like, man, I want to see a picture of that. At least not a single non-pedophile piece of shit, I should say. These people are fucking sick. Eastern North Carolina.
Please don't think because this is the only song.
North Kakalaki, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your hands. Look like a helicopter.
Islam is a problem. We just don't think it's the problem.
P. Pablo is a shit. That if you like shitty fucking nothing rap, that album is the shit. I'll give it the seal of approval, especially if you got speakers. North Carolina. I talk about Mexicans. Why would anybody want me to talk about anyone else? Unless you're a friar who knows what the fuck I'm gonna read just gets worse, why would you keep trying to get me to talk about something else? It doesn't make sense any other way, right? Most people don't know those were the original words to that song. Well, I'm not most people.
Professor Grip is a bitch. Let me tell you a story of how this switch hitter tried his best to ignore me while I was simply imploring him to please explain how it is he keeps scoring since life is a game. Yet stifled and lame, this vagina's a dick. He's licensed by fame. He lies to exist. Crying his fist is up through deception. He's a Zionist pig used for their misdirection. Professing his lessons to lessen our might. He's stressing aggression. He mentions the fight is black against white, just like he's supposed to. He's trash among blight. He's used to control who you present to the whole room. He's modern day blackface. His flavor's so old you'll chuck with you last day. Terminating your past makes you dumb to the present. Griff's job is to castrate the will of the peasants.
Who would post a video of a crime against a baby? Exactly. Exactly. I had to find some mischief to get into today. I give you a whole list of things to check out. The list of links I give you at the end of the feed is an all-day adventure. Although I think you've watched some of them.
When I say a bitch, I don't mean a female. I mean that he fits in nice with the details. Set up to prevail by the chosen in charge. Since you can't just go retail without playing your part. And that's where we start. Since he boasts his phone number, I called the old fart. And I told him I wonder why it is he's not under the thumb of the system. But it turns out he's dumber than biblical wisdom, since he's just a minion. He doesn't know Gru, but his star was given, and that ploy's nothing new. The Goyim are moved, where and whenever the spoils say
cannot read your own comments.
Not even clever and
Oh yeah, no. Kyle's a piece of shit. He just got caught. Now he's gonna backtrack and try to make it seem like it's everyone else. He got caught. He literally was just like, come on. He thought that that was a good thing to say. Right? He was like, oh, I'm gonna say this and this is gonna make me look good.
You are the public enemy since you're dangerous to the public, but you're like 100 centipedes running away when you're confronted and seeing through your trusted pedantry. I would say you should suck it, but you'd probably take that literally and just don't cut my mustard. I went off the beaten path describing treason the boars, but there's a reason that they laugh less just as much as before, and it's because they're so enormous, feeling like a flea circus. The Goyim sing the chorus, and it's all done on purpose, but they really get nervous when we put down our weapons and saying Griff doesn't deserve this means you don't pay attention. The public enemy think the same, yet who's often in detention are those who try to blame the system for the shame. And yet Professor Griffin's famous. How does he still remain in the light without his anus being taken like the main bus takes everyone in the industry? The stories aren't so heinous. You think someone would end the misery, but we're hobbled by the visions we are sold by all these grifters, professing crazy wizardry, tricking your brothers and sisters to accept whatever blisters they whip on your back, yet all they really do is whisper when you think they scream.
Song's amazing. You guys understand why I don't even bother with these fucking morons, right? They're ridiculous. But we clearly have more than 2 viewers, and yet it's telling me we have 2 viewers. They're obviously shutting shit down today. Oh, we just jumped up to 6 whole viewers. It's all good, dude. This culture, you got brain bleed. Guy doesn't condone any of that shit. I mean, you know what I'm gonna say? He's just trying to get you upset. Trying to get you to feel like you feel right now. Always weirdos in the chat. Right. The Israelis are sending them their best. You gotta give it a big one.
Love to hear your opinion on this.
Huh? Oh, okay. Let's see. Process has the oil, put his mouth directly in the infant's genital wound, suck the blood away. Tuberculosis. The practice also poses risk of spreading herpes to the infant. Proponents maintain that there is no conclusive evidence that links herpes to metzitzia, and that attempts to limit this practice infringe on religious freedom. See? You see, by focusing, it's like when Trump was gonna get impeached, right?
Don't fight the conundrum.
And there was the 2 charges. The one was obstruction of justice, and the other one was like collusion with the Russian, this, that, and the other, whatever, based on the phone call. And the collusion in the with the I can't believe you're going with the smallest pictures you can. Kind of bothers me, but whatever. We could have. You could put it in one box and send it together.
I'm saying I didn't get bigger picture packages from the school.
Okay, so we can plan on having one picture of each of them to be sent, since that's all she's ever had. Why couldn't Gary have a big one at the same time?
The big one's for us.
Oh, okay, we'll get that one back. You forget that part. We're not gonna get the other one back. But that's how they do it, is by saying, well, there's no evidence. They by focusing on the disease aspect, on the spreading of herpes and whatnot, like it somehow distracts the people, because if the herpes thing happens 1 out of 1,000,000 times, then you have your argument. Yet instead of going, each one of those 1,000,000 times was a fucking violation. Like, as long as you're not focused on the pedophile aspect of it, you're distracted in the way they want you distracted. And like with Trump, like I was saying, they were trying to prove some collusion bullshit based off of a summary of the phone call, because, continuing with the obstruction of justice, Trump refusing to release the transcripts of the call prevented them from being able to prove the collusion bullshit. And instead of just focusing on the easy slam dunk charge of obstruction of justice, which, like I say, he was continuing to do, they focused on this thing that was basically unprovable, you know, with the situation that we were given, with what they were given. Again, being satisfied with summaries of the phone call, not the actual transcripts, the summary of those transcripts. And they even mention it like here and there, like it sucks that we're only getting the transcripts, that we're only getting the summary. But they never focused on it. And I mean, I could have won that shit. You know, I could have won that hearing if I don't know, I was given the platform to just be like, hey, yeah, why don't we just focus on the obstruction part? Slam dunk, give me my shit, let's go. But that's part of the distraction, right? I have 3 viewers, 16 likes, 2,500 subscribers. If that makes sense to you, don't bother. But if that seems weird to you, then like, share, and sub. Help out. Like, share, sub. It's supposed to help. Clearly it doesn't help, but let's do it anyway. But see, again, this idea that, well, there's no conclusive evidence that it transfers the herpes virus and that infringes on our religious freedoms. It wouldn't matter what your religious beliefs were if it was seen as pedophilic. Our society would reject it. I don't care what the fuck you're talking about. Pedophilia is not acceptable in any sort of form, especially not any sort of religious ritual. And it would immediately be eliminated, and they would be kicked out of 110 countries. Especially because they would insist on continuing. And so if you say, look, this is a pedophile thing, if you're going to believe in it, practice it, support it, defend it, you got to go. It's probably why they got kicked out of so many other countries. The practice has become a controversy in both secular and Jewish medical ethics. The ritual of metzitzia is found in Mishnah Shabbat 9:2, which lists it as one of the 4 steps involved in the circumcision rite. Rabbi Moses Sofer, also known as the Chatham Sofer, 1762 to 1839, observed that the Talmud states that the rationale for this part of the ritual was hygienic, to protect the health of the child. Protecting the health of the child wouldn't be like not doing it altogether, right? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense to just not do it? Consequently, the Chatham Sofer issued a ruling to perform metzitzia with a sponge instead of oral suction in order to safeguard the child from potential risks. He also cited a passage in Nidarim 32a as a warrant for the position that metzitzia b'peh was not an obligatory part of the circumcision ceremony. It relates the story that the moil, who was suspected of transmitting herpes via metzitzia to infants, was checked several times and never found to have signs of the disease, and that a ban was requested because of the possibility of future infections. So how else do you explain how a baby gets herpes? All of these babies that had this procedure, this ritual done to them by this moil, ended up with herpes infections. But we didn't see anything on him, so it couldn't have been him. Well, then who else is fucking with the baby's dick? Do you not understand what the fuck I'm reading you? Oh, here, let's see what other pedophile shit Kyle has to say. Kyle! What about Trump and Netanyahu? I hear they fired up. Look at this fucking pedophile weirdo. Moishe Schick 1807 to 1879, a student of Moses Sofer, states in his book of Responsa, She Elos Utishavos Maharam Shik, Oral Chaim 152, or Orach Chaim 152, that Moses Sofer gave the ruling that specific instance gave the ruling in that specific instance only because the Moyle refused to step down and had secular government connections that prevented his removal in favor of another Moyle, and the heater may not be applied elsewhere. So this random bullshit story from 18 something with this random guy getting, this random one of many Moyles at the time who is out here clearly transmitting herpes to children.
Fucking disgusting.
He refuses to step down because he likes his job so much. And the fact that he has this thing that he's transmitting, he doesn't care that he's transmitting it to children. He likes doing what he does so fucking much that instead of just stepping down and taking another position, he's like, no, I refuse to step down. And again, this is just some random fucking story in the middle of the world in the 1800s. Think about how many other fucking stories were happening at the same time. Yet for some reason, this one is the one that in 2025, when you look up this bullshit, this is the shit that comes up. And even then, they don't even take the high road. They don't even say, yeah, that was a great guy who said we should get rid of this shit. They're saying, oh no, he still supported the whole practice. He just wanted this. He thought because this guy was knowingly spreading herpes that, and refusing to step down, that he shouldn't do it anymore. But, everybody else, yeah, no, go right ahead. That you have to. It's part of the mitzvah. When you understand that it's part of their mitzvah, and you know how like religious and how, you know how they are, what makes you think so many of them aren't actually practicing this? It's not just me saying it. It's one of 4 important steps in their most important mitzvah. This shit is happening way, way more than you think. The one guy said
it's
over...
just in the Orthodox Jew, because it's not in Berkeley.
How do you know? It's one of 4 steps of the most important mitzvah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit that, only the Orthodox sects of whatever religion adhere to.
Sure.
And it has that same strong verbiage, but
Sure.
the rest of them don't do it. So
sure, well, but the others, there's not a single voice from the others that say, hey, this is wrong. And you have hundreds, if not thousands, of moils in this country. Their only job is that. That's all they do.
They don't have to suck.
They don't, but that's all they do.
Right.
So considering when you have a guy like the one head guy who said over his career he had done 35,000 of them. And there's nothing wrong. I've done it 35,000 times over his... If it was a 30-year career, that's 3 per day, nonstop, every single day. If it's a 50-year career, that's 1.5, 2 per day. Again, nonstop, every single day. Over 50 years. That's just one guy doing it. There are lots and lots of others that are doing it. I don't know why you feel the need to defend this practice. Like, you wouldn't do this.
Defending the practice.
I'm not saying you defend, you minimize it by saying it's not. What is that innate nature, that innate response to make you want to defend this disgusting cult and say, oh, they don't do it as much as we think they do? not only do they do it a lot more than we think they do, they will all attack you for suggesting that it doesn't happen. You can't just be like, oh, I defend pedophilia, but I don't practice it, so I'm okay. It doesn't work that way. And that's the thing that I don't think people quite grasp. Or they do. They do when it's any other situation. They wouldn't accept anybody's pedophile excuses. They never would. If you fuck with a kid, they don't care if you were, oh, I was just coming to hang out with them. I just wanted a friend. I blah, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't mean anything in the messages. Oh, blah, blah. It does not matter. If you are that guy, we all think you're a piece of shit and you should die. Why do we go, well, those guys do it for religious purposes, so it's okay. And if anybody was there defending that guy that you got caught, anytime you see a video where the family members are defending the guy, nobody's like, well, at least the family's sticking behind the pedo. Everybody's like, the fucking family must be guilty too. That's what your immediate thought is. Their best is really stupid. Isn't it though? And again, when you hear shit like what I'm reading you, where they're telling you that the only reason that it's been condemned in this in notable instances where Wikipedia is telling us about it is only because one of them was knowingly spreading herpes and didn't give a shit. And was condemned for spreading herpes, but the practice itself wasn't condemned.
Turns out it's a laudable believing God is not a full example of how we're lied to. They act like we are sloppy can't handle that the Bible.
And I mean, how do you, yeah, we're gonna go through all of the rituals. We're gonna do the bris. We're gonna have the family here. We're gonna all stand there and watch. We're gonna have the moil. But if he does the rest of the mitzvah, that crosses the line. Of course they don't do that shit. Of course they give in. It's fucking insane. He also states that the practice is possibly a Sinaitic tradition, i.e. Halacha, i.e. Moishe M. Sinai. I don't know what the fuck that means. Other sources contradict this claim with copies of Moses Shofar's responsa making no mention of the legal case or of his ruling applying to any one situation. Rather, that responsa makes quite clear that metzitzia was a health measure and should never be employed where there is a risk, where there is a health risk to the infant. That's not condemning the practice. It should never be employed where there is a health risk to the infant. That's literally what he said. When the person is a health risk, then it shouldn't be done. But they're not saying it should never be employed. Like, there's no contradiction here. What the fuck are they even saying? And I'm going to go ahead and think that the guy who was the direct descendant student of the original guy is going to know more about what he meant, especially after talking to him throughout the years, than people who are nowadays trying to make it make sense. This is fucking crazy. Other sources contradict this claim. Responsa makes it quite clear that metzitzia was a health measure and should never be employed where there is a health risk to the infant. That is fucking nuts. Remember, this is all Israeli approved. This is all considered balanced and Zionist in nature. So to read this, if you think this is anybody but them writing all of this narrative and spinning it the best way they possibly can, you're out of your fucking mind. It's all worded very, very purposefully. Every word is chosen purposefully. Shouldn't you be at church? They're fake, so. Chaim Hezekah Medini, after corresponding with the greatest friar sages of the generation, what the fuck does that mean? Concluded the practice to be halacha, which is Jewish law. Halacha means Jewish law. Moshe Sinai, and elaborates on what prompted Moses Sofer to give the above ruling. He tells the story that a student of Moses Sofer, Lazar Horowitz, chief rabbi of Vienna at the time, and author of the Responsa Yad Elzer, needed the ruling because of a government attempt to ban circumcision completely if it included metzitzia b'peh, and he didn't fucking want that shit. He therefore asked Sofer to give him permission to do Brit Milah without metzitzia b'peh. When he presented the defense in secular court, his testimony was erroneously recorded to mean that Sofer stated it as a general ruling. So, again, he's defending the practice, guys. The Rabbinical Council of America, RCA, which claims to be the largest American organization of Orthodox rabbis, published an article by Moyel Yehudi Pisach Shields in the summer of 1972 issue of Tradition magazine, calling for the abandonment of metzitzia b'peh. Since then, the RCA has issued an opinion that advocates methods that do not involve contact between the moyel's mouth and the infant's genitals, such as the use of a sterile syringe, thereby eliminating the risk of infection. Disgusting! According to the first Ashkenazic chief rabbi of the state of Israel, metzitzia b'peh should not be performed, stating in a 1959 letter that anyone who insists that metzitzia be done by mouth only is, in my opinion, mistaken and is leading others astray in a matter where there is a possibility of danger. So even when they're trying to be the good guy, they're still being a bad guy. Right? Because he's still suggesting that this practice is only, a negative one because of the potential health risks. Nobody is, acknowledging that it's unbelievably disgusting for this to be even thought about. Talking about, is that to be praised? Yes, that's what it is. I mean, that is what pudding is all about, isn't it? The argument by some ultra-Orthodox friar sects that oral suction is a necessary part of friar ritual circumcision has been countered by citing that friar doctrines that preserving the life and health of a person is paramount above other rules, so that protecting newborns from the risk of infection overrides the need to observe ritual. Yes, but they believe that the suction is what protects the kids from the infection. And so even still, stating that if a person is routinely tested and comes up clean, then it shouldn't be a problem. They're still not denying the reality of the 100% of the time, not the random occurrence that only happens every once in a while. The thing that happens 100% of the time, they keep avoiding it. Do you guys see this? I know Mary sees it, and I don't really expect anybody else in the comments to see it because apparently I only have 2 watchers, even though there are clearly at least 3 people commenting. I only have 2 watchers, 16 likes, and 2,500 subs. Gotcha. Preserving life paramount. So that protecting newborns from the risk of infection overrides the need to observe ritual. Researchers in Israel reported 8 cases of baby boys becoming infected with herpes simplex virus type 1 HSV-1 after direct oral genital contact between the infant and a religious circumciser. One suffered brain damage. When was this? Are we are we saying over the course of them keeping track? Because again, this is not the worst part of this whole thing. See, this is what I call distraction. Because the best distractions are the ones that matter. Because the idea of babies getting herpes from this procedure, that's fucking horrendous. That should never be a thing. But it should never be a thing because this practice is seen for what it is. Unbelievably disgusting pedophile bullshit. Again, look at these people. Look, every single person in the comment section is essentially, everyone that's not agreeing with me and calling for an end to this shit is essentially defending it. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of sick fucks are defending this? You think there are any real Christians out there, any real red-blooded Americans out there, any black people, you think anybody but friars are going to hear what this conversation's about and not be appalled and drop whatever bullshit they have to try to override this bullshit? Holy shit, I think I see one of Turtle's relatives. Chubby! Chubby! I see one of Turtle's relatives. I see one of Turtle's relatives. Going to Steph's house right now. No. That cat is fine.
We have to help it.
It's fine, dude.
No, we have to help the kid.
It's fine, dude.
Dad, you just don't want another cat.
No, it's fine. If it wasn't fine, dude, it would be done already. It has a safe place. It has lots of fur. It's out right now because it wants to be. And it would run away from you. It wouldn't come anywhere near you.
Mom's going to it.
You better not. Leave that shit alone. It's happy. It's fine. Leave it alone. It ran back across the street. No, we don't. She can think it ran across the street all she wants.
Is the last thing you want to use another cat?
Absolutely not. Look at the situation we're in because of the last one. Our cats are more important. Yes, our cats that we birthed are more important than the cat that we helped. And I hate the situation we're in already. Cool. Our cats are more important. Let's see. Let's see. When the New York City infants contracted herpes after metzitzia by one mohel, and one of them died, New York City authorities took out a restraining order against the mohel requiring use of a sterile glass tube or a pipette. He was still allowed to do his thing. As long as he used a small glass tube, because spit can't travel down the tube, right? That is fucking crazy. The Moyles attorney argued that the New York Department of Health had not supplied conclusive medical evidence linking his client with the disease. So then where the fuck did these kids get herpes from? This is insane. Who defends this bullshit? Who are these psychopaths? In September 2005, the city withdrew the restraining order and turned the matter over to a rabbinical court. That is fucking nuts. That should not happen. Like, this should drive you fucking crazy. Thomas Frieden, the health commissioner of New York City, wrote, "There exists no reasonable doubt that metzitzia can and has caused neonatal herpes infections. The health department recommends that infants being circumcised not undergo metzitzia. In May 2006, the Department of Health for New York State issued a protocol that the performance of metzitzia protocol for the performance of metzitzia. Antonia Novello, Commissioner of Health for New York State, together with a board of rabbis and doctors, worked, she said, to allow the practice of metzitzia to continue while still meeting the Department of Health's responsibility to protect the public health." Jesus fucking Christ! Later in New York City in 2012, a 2-week-old baby died of herpes because of metzitzia. This is fucking crazy. In 3 medical papers done in Israel, Canada, and the United States, oral suction following circumcision was suggested as a cause in 11 cases of neonatal herpes. Researchers, and they have that bushy ass beard and shit. How can you even tell? Ugh! Researchers noted that prior to 1997, neonatal herpes reports in Israel were rare, and that the late instances were correlated with the mothers carrying the virus themselves. Oh, it's the mom's fault. Oh, okay. Which again is part of the point. Like, who gives a shit about this part? This is the smallest piece of why this is a horrible thing. Rabbi Dr. Mordecai Halperin implicates the better hygiene and living conditions that prevail among the younger generation, which lowered to 60% of the rate of young Israeli Haredi mothers who carry the virus. 60% of Israeli women carry the herpes virus? And it's down to 60%? That community, the Haredi community, which again, it stretches up. Sweetheart. Chubby. Chubby. Rabbi Dr. Mordecai Halperin implicates the better hygiene and living conditions that prevail among the younger generation, which lowered to 60% the rate of young Israeli Haredi mothers who carry the herpes virus.
Hey Mom, I'm gonna teach the babies how to be tomboys.
Don't worry, Vanessa's got that covered.
60% of the...
Big.
Are you fucking kidding me? Where are all these women getting herpes from then? Does that have to do with the bottom of darkness bullshit? Because if 60% of the women, if it's down to 60% of the women having it, then the men have it too. 60% of the mothers that have it.
Yeah.
So then they, That means they're all. That means at least 60% of the men have it. And where are they all getting this herpes from? Especially if they're these ultra orthodox who don't believe in sex before marriage and all that other bullshit. You see how it all connects? You see how accidentally, without even trying, how does it all, it all connects back to the same shit? When I tell you that the Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article is the most important article ever written, do you understand why? You see how your own question cannibalizes itself, tell you God's origin, just like you can't tell me origin, nothing from nothing. The fuck are you even talking about? You sound really dumb. Yeah, well, look outside, dude.
No, it's not fun.
It's not even a long drive.
We'll figure something out, don't worry. Um,
They're so tiny.
Mom, why do you think Vanessa said keep on every tomboy?
oh my god.
The
Well, go back. I don't care about her boob, but like you can see how little it
little
is.
the head. So
Wow.
let me show you this picture. Okay, so look how big these diapers are on them. Okay, these are preemie diapers. Now look at this.
But they look so good. They look so healthy. Like
They're very
nothing's
healthy.
wrong.
They're very healthy. Okay, so let me show you. This is the preemie diaper. Okay.
Right.
And you saw how big it was on them.
And that's her hand.
No, that's my hand.
Oh.
That's my hand. So the preemie diaper is this big, okay? And they're baggy on them. They're 4 pounds, 10 ounces, 4 pounds, 7 ounces.
Jesus, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, one of them's older than the other one.
I know.
59 minutes.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. All right. He explains that an absence of antibodies in the mother's blood means that their newborn sons receive no such antibodies through the placenta and therefore are vulnerable to infection by HSV. But that would mean they would have to come into contact with it. All you're saying is that they're more susceptible to it. So that if the fucking moil happens to have herpes, then they're more likely to get it. But yeah, the whole idea of God, you know, that like you want to sit here and talk about bullshit that we can't know. You want to sit here and talk about hypothetical what created this shit. Like the only thing that could possibly have created the situation we're in is some goofy ass God who lets this happen and likes fucking, you know, the worst of the worst. Let's just be honest. But your God is a piece of shit. That's the only thing that you can think of that could possibly create this system we're in. And the whole nothing comes from nothing. Okay, well, what made God? Oh, well, there was no God. God's always been there. There's never been a before God. Well, then your logic's broken, dumbass. You can't have you can't just be like, well, God's always been there. That doesn't work. Something had to create that too, right? You guys just don't like that part. You can't provide a better answer for why. I don't need to provide a better answer for why this shit's here. I can't. You're right. Until we overthrow the people that control the narrative, we're going to keep being told bullshit CGI narratives like we live on a round ball flying through space. Right? But we can't figure that out. You want to figure out where you actually live? Well, thing is, you're going to have to stop the genocide that's taking place right now. You want to end the pedophilia? Thing is, you're going to have to stop the genocide that's taking place right now. You want to fix the vaccine issue? Thing is, you're going to have to stop the whole genocide thing that's happening right now. Because the same people committing the genocide are the same people in charge of all of that shit. And until we, Goyim, unite and overthrow the people that control the narrative we get, we're going to keep getting a bullshit narrative. And we're going to fight those who question it because that's what we're told to do. So you want to sit here and argue over if there's a God or not, the God, and you can't prove blah 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 blah. To me, a much better example is to think that we are a much more advanced version of us, has a reality TV show going on, and that's what we're in. That makes exponentially more sense than the shit you say. But you don't want to have that conversation, and really, I don't either, because this is way more important than the shape of the earth, than whether or not God created this or that, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. If there is a God, your God is all about this shit, and that's a big problem. You can't prove that. I'm not the one making the outrageous claim. You understand that, right? The person with the extraordinary claims is the person that needs to have the extraordinary proof. So when you claim that there's a God, Jesus bullshit narrative, you better have some proof. You're the one that has to prove that there's a God. How do I prove something doesn't exist? Prove there's not a leprechaun dancing around in my hand right now. Sweetheart, you see the leprechaun? She sees it, right? You have faith it's there.
Yep.
Is it granting your wishes? Are you praying to it? Highly, 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 hoo. Prove it's not there. We have faith it's there. You have brought into the wrong God a weak image I like. What? You can't provide a better answer. What is that? I don't understand. Providing a better answer. So you're stuck on what created the situation we're in and not the situation we're in. And then the stupidity in thinking that you have some sort of understanding because you've decided that this one narrative is the true narrative. You literally have no reason to believe, you've seen no proof whatsoever that the Christian narrative is the truth. It's just your arrogance coming through. And your arrogance is saying, yeah, the Muslim, like, you haven't gone through, you can't sit here and be like, I debunked Islam, and I debunked Judaism, and I debunked Scientology, and I debunked all of the other sects of Christianity that I don't believe in, and I debunked the Indian stuff, and I debunked the African religions, and I debunked Hindu and Buddha, and I debunked all the Asian stuff, and I just debunked all of it. And then when I got to Christianity, Catholicism, whichever bullshit one you believe in, you were like, man, I tried my best, but it just made sense. I couldn't debunk it. None of you are going to say that. You never, ever can. Oliver, close off. You have broken English. What is your first language? It's Yiddish. What do you think his first language is? Right? They want to act like they're smart, but they can't get third grade English correct. That's because you're not smart. It's okay. We all aren't blessed with intelligence. Exactly. Yeah. No, everybody else is stupid. Not you. You're super smart because you repeat what you're told to poorly. Gotcha. So, because you just repeated that shit, Mary, unfortunately, you probably just gave somebody a whole bunch of points. I bet we can't get him to say this. I'm going to, whatever. You don't know how act.io works, but it works. All right, let's finish this real quick. I'll elaborate on that in a minute. Because of the risk of infection, we're still going with that. I have zero viewers, by the way. 0 viewers, 16 likes, and 2,500 subscribers. And apparently at least 3 people commenting, but 0 viewers. Because of the risk of infection, some rabbinical authorities have ruled that the traditional practice of direct contact should be replaced by using a sterile tube between the wound and the moil's mouth so that there is no direct oral contact. The moil standing over so his spit goes down the tube, his nasty, spitty beard mouth. How long do you think that tube's going to be? The Rabbinical Council of America, the largest group of modern Orthodox rabbis, endorses this method. The RCA paper states, Rabbi Shader even reports that Rav Shov Dov Shalomachik reports that his father, Rav Moshe Shalomachik, would not permit a moil to perform metzitzia b'peh with direct oil contact, and that his grandfather, Rav Chaim Shalomachik, instructed moilim in Brisk not to do metzitzia b'peh with direct oral contact. However, although Rav Yosef Dov Shalomach also generally prohibited metzitzia b'peh with direct oral contact, he did not ban it by those who insisted upon it. The Sefer Mitzvahs Hemititza by Rabbi Sinai Schiffer of Baden, Germany, states that he is in possession of letters from 36 major Russian Lutheran rabbis, or Lithuanians, rabbis that categorically prohibit metzitzia prohibit metzitzia with a sponge and require it to be done orally. Among them is Rabbi Chaim Havoli Solomachis of Brisk. So the guy that they started the fucking paragraph saying that he did not permit it signed the letter saying that it shouldn't be done with a sponge and that it required to be done orally. So it sounds like he must have said it for some sort of press purposes because somebody had spoken up or whatever. I'm not even sure. In September 2012, the New York Department of Health unanimously ruled that the practice of metzitzia b'peh should require informed consent. It shouldn't require informed consent. That's the thing. That's what was ruled on. That it should, not it has to, but it should require informed consent from the parent or guardian of the child undergoing the ritual. You guys, come on. You can hate me all day. How the fuck do you think this is okay? Prior to the ruling, several hundred rabbis, including Rabbi David Niederman, the executive director of the United Jewish Organization of Williamsburg, signed a declaration stating they would not inform parents of potential dangers that came with metzitzia b'peh, even if conformed consent became law. We're not going to tell people about the dangers that this may present. They're so opposed to transparency and telling people about the dangers that this may present that they came together and signed this petition and pledged to break the law if said law was passed. Which should mean like people go, okay, cool, let's let them do it and then bust them and then, we can add to the fucking revenue stream, like, the revenue generators. So why wouldn't they be like, okay, do it? Instead, because they made the threat, it'll probably be that, well, because they threatened, then they just decided against it. In a motion for a preliminary injunction with intent to sue, filed against the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, affidavits by Awi Ferdegrun, Brenda Brewer, and Daniel S. Berman argued that the study on which the department passed its conclusions is flawed. Millions of dollars is going into this. The informed consent regulation was challenged in court. In January 2013, the U.S. District Court ruled that the law did not specifically target religion and therefore must not pass strict scrutiny. Ruled that the law did not specifically target religion and therefore must not pass strict scrutiny. I'm missing something there. The ruling was appealed to the Court of Appeals. On August 15th, 2014, the Second Circuit Court of Appeals reversed the decision by the lower court and ruled that the regulation does have to be reviewed under strict scrutiny to determine whether it infringes on Orthodox Jews' freedom of religion. This makes me sick. On September 9th, 2015, this is all happening in years too. Each thing it takes a year for something to happen plus. On September 9th, 2015, after coming to an agreement with the community, the New York City Board of Health voted to repeal the informed consent regulation. They do not have to tell people of the risks that accompany the procedure, the ritual. A Brit Milah is more than circumcision. It is a sacred ritual in Judaism, as distinguished from its non-ritual requirement in Islam. As distinguished from its non-ritual requirement in Islam. What's that mean? One ramification is that the Brit is not considered complete unless a drop of blood is actually drawn. The standard medical methods of circumcision through constriction do not meet the requirements for the hachala or Brit Milah because they are done with hemostasis. Yeah, or what are those words? Hemostat. The hemostasis. What are they? They stop the flow of blood. Right. I don't even want to know. It's fucking awful. But they're saying because they prevent the blood from flowing somehow, then it's not a proper circumcision. A proper circumcision has to have some blood that apparently can be... I mean, so if you put your mouth on the bloody wound, essentially what are you doing? You're drinking blood, correct? You're imbibing the blood. Moreover, circumcision alone is the absence of the Brit Milah ceremony, does not fulfill the requirements of the mitzvah. Therefore, in cases involving a friar who was circumcised outside of Brit Milah, an already circumcised convert, or an apostolic born without a foreskin individual, or an apostatic, born without a foreskin. What? So God can make that happen? The moil draws a symbolic drop of blood from the penis at the point where the foreskin would have been or was attached. So if you convert or whatever, you still gotta let the moil get his little fix. It's just, what are we... I just don't even understand, like, this shouldn't exist. They are guilty, but they aren't getting punished or shamed, aka protected. Exactly. Get a more broken justice system than that. Right. And then mine has to be about owning music. Yeah, all that other stuff is really fucked up, no doubt. But I'm sorry, this is so... When you attach this to the ritualistic sexual abuse that also takes place, we're talking about something so much bigger than people realize. So, I'm gonna bounce. I'm beat. I hate this shit. It's just, I'm so passionate, and I hate when I discover something like this. I should have been done at least an hour ago. But you guys have yourself a wonderful day. Go check out all the links in the description. You know they'll be there. Get your free download, www.the-bilderberg, bilderberg-group.com. And then go watch Hollywoodism, the second link, and then go read Israel Hayom, Bottom of Darkness, the most important article ever written. All that stuff combined, along with the rest of the shit, that the rest of the receipts that are going to be in the description, the rest of the links and shit. What did I just? I mean, I don't know what else I can provide you. I just don't understand. And you look at your Ian Carrolls, and you look at your Nick Fuentes's, and you look at all these other guys out there that are allowed to make a lot more money, not allowed to make money, but allowed a really great life and have all the views and all that shit. None of them talk about this stuff. This stuff is so much more important than anything else. So have yourself a great day. Mary, thanks for being here. Matt as well, have a great day. One viewer, 16 likes, and 2,500 subscribers. Totally makes sense. You guys have a great day. You pedophiles, kill yourself.